Welcome to another episode of TOPT. My name is Larry.
Sam.
And Lionel. And this is TOPT, where we talk anime and One Piece. Woo! Let's go. Episode 232 in the building. Hello, everybody. How are you, man? Glad to see all of you in chat. Thank you so much for being here. To all of our latecomers, thank you for watching. Also, to anybody that's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube Music, wherever you are, thank you for listening in as well on the go. We love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Today's agenda is going to be One Piece Chapter 1167. We will be discussing this heavily filled chapter. Whew, it's a banger. I definitely want to hear what the guys say. I know everybody's wondering if we're going to watch the latest One Piece episode. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not know if we're going to have that chance. If not, we'll save it for break week, okay? So, give us some time. We can hear Joy Boy's voice a little later. As for another announcement, I announced it yesterday. We have officially launched the new merch. It's the Larry Tax merch. The Larry Tax graphic happens to be on cups, pastries, stickers, shirts, sweaters. It's on everything. So if you guys wish, go to the pinned comment by us in the live chat and you will see the link. And the link is going to take you straight to our website, specifically to that Larry Tax merch. Now, if you guys didn't know, the entire merch store is 27% off for like the next 10 hours. So if you're going to cop some merch, I would suggest doing it right now because it's cheaper than usual. And already, our merch, we barely make a dime off of it. So it's as low as we could have made it. All right? It's new. It's fire. I love it. It's funny. Go ahead. And then you guys voted. So we already have myself as merch. We have Lawrence as merch. And then I chose who should be the next one through merch. And they said with a whopping 87%, Sebastian Chong should be the next merch.
It should have been Lionel, man.
So we're going to work on the Sebastian merch very, very, very soon.
Okay.
And we will decide what the inside joke will be.
Okay.
Yeah. So
don't tell me.
No, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah,
I'm just going to full on go head on into it. But that's the agenda for today. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that likes the video because it does help us in the long run. So thank you so much for liking the video. But Seb, let's say what's up to chat and then let's hit some super chats and then get to the chapter.
All right. Yo, you probably should have ran that by HR, though. You know what I'm saying? He was wild a little bit with that one.
There's no HR.
But all right. Hey, everyone. Like Larry said, like the stream if you haven't already. I see a bunch of people in here. I see Clappity Yo Cheeks, Dynamite, the Sexy Sasquatch, Takeem, Isaac Thomas, Three Sword Style, Mr. Rich 44, Papa Josh, Monkey DJ, Asante the Wise One, Andrew C, Left Lane John Wayne, Austin Hart, Deku Mighty, Quan Woods, Carrie himself, Brother Man P, Astro D Ness, Cyborg Frankie, Donovan Johnson, Twilight Straw Hat, Nika D Joy Boy, just so many y'all. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, let's get to some super chats. I saw some sitting. We got a couple Nakamas join the ship in Sofa Krakian. I hope I said that right. Rail Mundo, Hoodie JB, and then Doug Missy, a Nakama for 9 months. It says, valid crash out, hashtag Larry Tax, hashtag Marv, hashtag ain't no Trent money now. Okay. Another Nakama in Mitchell Paraga, so welcome. Another 40. Don't know what currency this is, but thank you. From Big Business Borsellino, it says, Larry, were you serious on your Seraphim greater than Ben take with crying emojis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Greater than what?
Then Ben. I assume Ben Beckman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ain't got the hockey to beat them, you can't really beat them.
I'm going to assume Ben got something.
I believe Ben's a conqueror.
I think...
I mean, we could believe all we want. You know what I'm saying? We really could, but I mean, what are we gonna?
Yeah.
There's always a chance he might not have it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I scale with the
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's a chance. There's a chance.
Even narratively, he might not have it either.
I think they hinted at him having it the same way they did with Zoro. Like low key off.
We just don't have a lot of Ben on.
Yeah,
panels
there's
to
like
be
nothing.
hinting at
There's
either.
nothing. The only comparison is Shanks and that comment about them being equal.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the whole
sun
crew.
and the moon or whatever it was, right?
It really is nothing there. It's all hopes.
My bad. I'm putting the poll up, man. Ben
Yeah,
Beckman
everybody's gonna say Ben Beckman, bro.
versus
Like this is
Sarah.
obvious. Everybody loves hype. We've been in the One Piece community long enough.
People be agreeing with you, bro.
No, they don't. By the way, Charles hit me up yesterday, and he was like, I forgot what he asked me, but he was like, basically, why wasn't Luffy using any of the hockey he used on Egghead that he used against Kaido? And I was like, I don't know, bro. It's the same way
bro.
he didn't use Bajrang.
Oh, he sent me some like giant breakdown.
Yeah,
of
it was
why
a chat
Luffy wouldn't-
GPT.
Yeah. I was like,
And I was like, yo, even chat GPT don't know what they talking about, bro. And he was kind of agreeing with it. And I was like, nah,
too funny.
bro.
It's too funny.
No, bro.
All right, we got another 250 from Nico L. The rat allegations were true. Hashtag she ain't really sick. What? About Ida? Yo, tell me you wasn't wilding on Ida, bro. Oh my God. No way, bro.
You said she wasn't. She's faking.
I can't, bro. Another Nakama joined the ship in Falk Griffin. Welcome.
What?
We got another 250 from Nico. It says, who was more sick, Ida or Usopp's mom? Hashtag Saint Larry.
One was poison.
Yo,
Like, you legit got that.
my, yo, tell me you wasn't wilding on Ida,
It
bro.
wasn't, bro. It wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me, bro.
Oh, man. We got another. Nakama joined the ship in D-Lo. Welcome. That's a lot of O's, bro. I'm not going to read it like that every time. Another 5 from Luis Lopez. Chopper will catch all the diseases in the world so the world won't have any more diseases. Hashtag Mexican tax. Hashtag BBC. I know what song that's from. And that is actually gold, bro.
And that's not how that works. Just so you know, diseases spread.
Oh, man.
Okay.
What is it? It's a Joey Badass and XXX Tentacion song, bro. I'm trying to remember the name, but I love that song. Another 5 from Wise Life Gaming. It says, sending this one to thank all y'all for this community y'all built. Thank you, Wise Life.
Thanks.
Very welcoming and insightful from the jump. 100. Y'all the goats. Hashtag twin time. Hashtag he can dodge it. Hashtag hockey chucker. He can dodge it?
It's
that's
probably
what
referring to me and Bajang run when I was saying.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
That Ray can
He can
dodge it.
just dodge it.
Hey man, future sight, man.
Yeah, I had to explain to Charles how big Bajranga was.
It was the size of Onigashima. Onigashima was already like
I know.
much larger than the average island of One
I was
Piece.
like, yo, you know how big that was, bro?
Oh man. Another 2 from Sandy Wu. Davey D Buggy doing the Nico pose. LOL. Hashtag like the stream. We will get into that in a little bit. I don't know if y'all peeped that or not.
Yeah.
We got another 10 from Clappity Yo Cheeks. It says, how do you think those Spade Knights chosen to guard the Celestial Dragons are picked for service? Do you think they're potential candidates to become future Gods Knights, and where do they scale? No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there's a lot there. I think it's just people assigned to protect them. I don't even think they're like Celestial Dragons. I think they're just normal people that
100%.
have been employed.
They're basically, the world government agents that are not CP anything, like not CP1 or thing. Those random just black suited men. They're like that level.
Yeah, if
Those guards are
if
like-
we're choosing next like Gods Knights, we're gonna be in the CP0 realms. People like Harold. Like, look at the people they've targeted to offer those kind of positions to. You got to be kind of a big dog. You know what I mean? Like Harold, Loki. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think some random no-name Spade guy who got one of them got kicked by Sanji pre-skip, right? Like that wasn't even like a crazy. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. Another 5, Australian from Takeem. It says, hashtag moldy bean soup of booty old milk and spoiled tuna microwave pocket of ass chapter ending. That's what you said last week, right? Oh, man. Good times, bro.
Let's go 2 more.
Okay. Another 5 from 3 Sword Style. Sorry, Larry, but I lost a lot of respect after what you said about Ida on your live reaction. Yeah, what did you say about Ida, bro? What did you say about this woman, bro?
I didn't say nothing, bro.
What would you say, bro?
didn't
I don't
say
be
nothing,
watching
bro.
your reactions, so I get your pure, unfiltered takes.
I didn't
here.
say nothing, bro. You're not a member, bro.
I'm a member. I have access. They be gifting it to me. It'd be hilarious when they do. But, and y'all, don't stop gifting to me, bro. I need that. Like, I wouldn't have access to the emojis otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And then last one, another 10 from Mr. Rich. May God continue to bless y'all boys, but man, I swear Larry has had future sight since episode like 31 when Sebi and Law tried to downplay rocks. Hashtag somebody gotta do it. Hashtag I'm always right. Hashtag whatever, bro. Downplay rocks? I don't know that I ever downplayed rocks.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did either.
I just didn't think he was stronger than Roger. I still don't.
Same. Likewise.
Prime Roger, anyway. All right. I mean, the Roger we saw dealing with rocks is still learning things about hockey, man. You know? Nah, hey,
Word.
it is what it is. But all right, I'll pass it.
Yeah. All right, guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. Also, if you just joined, know that we have Larry Tax merch, and the link is pinned comment within the live chat of YouTube. So please click that link. There's 27% off on all of the merch on the store, and you could get this TOPT Podcast hoodie. It's also 27% off. So everything in the store is 27% off. So I would suggest looking through it. If you wish to grab something, go grab it. All right? Okay.
Yo, chat, tell me what Larry said about Ida, bro. You're not gonna tell me what he said.
All right, you guys ready for the chapter?
Yeah.
All right. This week's chapter is titled Ida's Sons. We've got another reader request, and the caption reads, Gen and Nojiko scolding a cat trying to steal a book, though they're not really mad. And in the request, we see exactly that scene play out. Did you guys have any initial thoughts on this, starting with Seb?
I didn't have too much. I did like the play on the fact that it's a cat burglar.
Yeah.
Like that was the one thing I thought was pretty cool. Like it's a cat burglar. That's Nami's epithet in the series. I didn't think it was much deeper than that. I didn't have a lot of time to like look at the big book of fish and if it means much. I did correlate that to Nami's not all blue, her trying to draw a map of the world. Like maybe I tried to draw something from that, but I didn't have much, so I'll pass the law, but that's really it.
Law?
Yeah, no, I had the same thoughts as Sebastian. The only thing I wonder if they even played on, like, if we ever get a color picture of this, will the cat be like orange, like resembling Nami's hair or something like that? But yeah, that's only what I got.
Yeah, I didn't have anything. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so we're going to move straight into the first part of the chapter, okay, guys? So the chapter opens up by taking us back 33 years ago. Just 5 years after the God Valley incident, a man, absolutely thrilled, tells a young Big News Morgans how everyone was freaking out about pirates off the coast when suddenly an enormous figure emerged from the mist behind them. Morgans is jotting every word down as he listens. We then cut to Impel Down, where another man continues the same story, describing how this massive figure shattered a ship into splinters. Some of the nearby prisoners wonder if it was a Sea King, or the words Neptunian. But he yells that it wasn't. It looked human. Next, we jump to a third man retelling the same tale to a journalist. The journalist asks if this took place in the Florian Triangle, but the man says, not even close. There's no fish out there, so they avoid it entirely. All he can say is that it was a monster in human form. Then we get narration explaining that, at the time, countries along the Grand Line were buzzing with a frightening rumor. A tale of a lurking monster attacking mostly pirate ships from deep within the sea mists. We see a silhouette of a humanoid figure leaping with a blade drawn, about to strike down on a much smaller ship. The pirates on board are terrified. The figure is then revealed, King Harold of Elbaf. He brings his blade down and slices the pirate ship in half. The narration continues. This monster was actually Harold. But for people who had never seen a giant before, the encounter was pure terror. As part of his sworn oath of 1,000-year atonement, Harold assisted the Navy in maintaining order. Meanwhile, The pirates who scattered after God Valley would grow stronger over the next decade or two, eventually becoming the faces of their era: Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard. While pirates like Wang Shi and Shiki focused on territorial expansion, one crew achieved the impossible and circumnavigated the globe. The crew led by the king of pirates, Gold Roger. After Roger was captured and publicly executed, the world government assumed it would demonstrate their strength. Instead, the allure of the One Piece plunged the world into an age of frenzied piracy. To counter the incoming Great Pirate era, Navy headquarters recruited over a dozen giants from different regions to strengthen their forces. As for Harold, after years of faithful service as a tool of the Navy, he was finally granted official access to the Holy Land this year. So, what did you guys think about the first part of the chapter? Let's start with Law.
Okay. One thing I want to point out is that when I was first reading this about how these
is that a turtleneck?
Yes.
Oh.
Turtleneck. I've worn turtlenecks.
I'm about to say he's worn turtlenecks.
Yeah, I was just.
Okay. Well, anyway, when I was first reading this about how these ships were being taken down and sinking, I started thinking for a second, is this linked to the man with the burn scar? I was like finding out where would it lead to that? Like, is this that? And then we find out, that it was Harold, right? But it also made me think more on that just a little bit of the potential of possibility of who it might be. Like, the man with the burn scar, is it another pirate? Or is it a knight under Emu? Like, it made me throw those thoughts in. Because immediately I was like, going down, it sounds very much like how the man with the burn scar is doing it, right? Especially too, other people haven't seen giants at that time, so they don't know. Now, more so, they may be able to identify more giants, but then I also thought of, like, the Straw Hats. When they first met Draghi and Dory.
You did the same thing that Lionel did.
Draghi.
You guys are twins for real.
Draghi and Dory. I forget.
Dory and Braghi.
Yes.
Braghi. I forget how to, anyway. That they were shocked that they saw giants, So even nowadays, like, I guess, that was 2 years ago, but the shock of seeing giants is still, like, not everyone sees them. And this is probably more so back then, for seeing giants, just coming across giants. Right. But also, so now moving on from that, I also noticed, and I'm going to point this out because I've been kind of staying a little quiet about the whole thing, but to me, I've been knowing a different separation between a certain group and another group, whereas see here how, again, it's separated Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom from Shinki. And Pano also, what was stated about them in growing in power, reaching their primes, and becoming faces of their era, right? And how Shinki is not one of those people that it said they became the face of his era, or I'm not gonna say he didn't grow to his prime because I don't know. We don't know. How can I factor that, right? But either or, because even look at even how they would show the Rocks pirates and everything, and even with the whole Garp thing, Shinki came afterwards, but then also left, right? When it showed Harold with talking to Harold talking to Rocks right before God Valley, and they showed you're gonna sink our ship. They showed Big Mom, Whitebeard, and Kaido with Rocks, not Shinki, right? And a lot of times they would single them three, and not Shinki. Now Shinki's getting in a different panel talking about he's focused on territories with Wang Shi, while the other ones are becoming stronger, reaching their prime, and the territory. To me, it's showing that yes, Shinki was strong, but he's not the level that these people were or are. So I just want to.
But it is kind of unfair though, because you're not mentioning that also when like the three of them are out on their own, Shiki does happen to appear within that group most times.
Yeah, but it's like
but they do get singled out.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like both sides are right though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, they're just greater pirates than Shiki is.
Yeah, no.
They go on to live longer pirate careers than Shiki does. He gets essentially wiped out after Roger. Like, because he crashes out. They go on to...
He does crash out.
That's what I'm saying. He
does crash out. Unlike the other three who don't crash out.
Don't crash out and maintain great pirate status for decades after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say it's both.
But even even after he escapes, he's not relevant.
That's fair. That's fair. But he's also a dude with 2 missing legs. Like, listen, I will say they also highlighted him with Wang Xi here.
Yeah.
Or that's his name, right?
Wang Shi.
Wang Xi.
Yeah.
So like that dude didn't get taken out until Blackbeard came around with Kobe and Law or whatever. So it's two sides of a similar coin, but they're just not as great as Kaido and Whitebeard. I don't think I've ever said that he was that great.
It wasn't necessarily a tactic. It was more like the Lord, because I remember one time, I don't know what stream it was, if it was that I was listening to. I don't know if it was a call-in stream or maybe the Davey back. But I'm not sure. I was listening to one, and someone was saying that because they're linking Shinky, a potential rival of Roger or something like that, because he's like Roger, that he's stronger than Big Mom. And I was like, stop. Let's not
well,
do that.
Shiki won his matchup against Odin. So
see, stuff like that. Stuff like that is what I'm talking about.
I don't have an issue
that
with it.
No, because again, Kaido is above Shinky, even in this narrative, right? The rival of Kaido was Odin, and I'm actually a little upset that Odin is not added in this picture right here when the group that became Pirate King. Odin should have been there because he's one of the reasons that helped Roger become Pirate, because he's able to read the poneglyphs that they couldn't read.
Intern Roger Pirate.
Huh?
I said intern Roger Pirate.
Yeah, so. But like so, the fact that he was able to read it,
Crocus
played the fact that, huh?
Yeah.
See, Crocus there.
Yeah, Crocus is there. Granted, Crocus put more time in on the Roger Pirates than Odin. But to me, Odin, to me, should have been there because without him able to read it, it would have left them still like finding it in a harder way.
It's funny you say Odin should have been there. The picture reminded me of the Scabbards with Odin, and then again with Yamato, and them like now in Wano. But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
it's nuanced, bro. Like you really got to consider like Shiki was like the kid of his generation, but actually had accomplishments.
Yeah,
and he just bit off. He bit off 2 times. He couldn't chew.
He did. He crashed out to a degree that nobody else would have.
Yeah,
and none of them other people would have survived that crash.
And it's even,
my thing.
And it's even more plausible to say that Shiki had a better head start than the other 3 had, because he had the largest fleet, and it rivaled Roger. And then he just fought Roger. He might have even beaten Roger, from what they were saying, right? They could, and the only reason Roger was saved because it was a storm, right? But then after that, he goes and fights Garp and Sengoku, for Roger. So it's like, if he didn't do those 2 things, imagine, bro.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Me. I think I theorize that it took a prime Shanks to take him out, but that's me. You know.
Well, for what we've seen, he got taken out by a steering wheel.
Okay.
I'm just saying that would have taken out.
Okay.
Everyone like Whitebeard, Kaido, Big
steering
Mom,
wheel go harder
Roger.
than Sengoku and Garp.
Stop. And I also want to clarify too, because I just want to clarify because I know sometimes people may get mixed up here, right? Because it says 33 years, so 33 years ago, 5 years after God Valley. Then now they're showing all this what's happening, and then we see Roger becoming Pirate King. Roger did not become Pirate King 5 years after God Valley. I just want to clarify that in case people get mixed up, because sometimes people get confused with reading the manga. Because also too, you got to remember, the age-wise, Shanks would be 5 years old. They're in that timeline because 5 years later, and Roger's only like 40. He would be 41, I believe, because he's 39. No, 5 years later he'll be like 40. Oh crap! I had the math in my head. I got it right here. I'm tripping out. Yeah, he'll be 44. Yeah, Roger will be 44, and Shanks would be 5. But the time Roger actually becomes Pirate King, he's actually 52, and Shanks is 14. Right? Because Roger also turns himself in and passes at 53, while Shanks is 15.
Throwing a lot of numbers at me right now, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
they're kind of really easy numbers. I'm kind of explaining it, but I want to get the people to understand so they don't confuse that.
I'm confused.
How are you confused?
I'm joking.
Okay. But yeah, so I just want to throw that out there. Right, but and then you stopped here. We talked about that. Yeah, so that's all I have. Also, I kind of wanted them to give a little more, because it kind of seemed like, yes, we got a whole flashback with Odin and everything, fleshing out more of Roger becoming Pirate King. I feel like there's stuff you could have added here that we didn't get, I wish we got from Oda, because he's kind of said, "Oh, Roger became Pirate King, changed the world, putting into Pirate Frenzy," and then he moved on. I kind of wanted a little more to get that, but we didn't. But that's all I have for now.
All right, Seb, Sean.
All right, based on what Lawrence just said, I really want to echo that sentiment because we kind of got Garp's perspective after God Valley. His view of like Imu, the world government, whatever, his conversation with Sengoku, his mini conversation with Dragon. But we got a little bit of the perspective that Garp had at the end of that. We didn't get any real perspective from Roger's side. And I was hoping this chapter would provide some of that, and we just didn't, like Lawrence was talking about.
Yeah.
We kind of skipped 5 years into the future, and then even further where he's Pirate King, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, okay, like, that's not what I would have wanted. Maybe we get more of that. I think we highlighted it many, many, many chapters ago or episodes ago about whether or not Harold and Roger have ever met. Apparently not. Unless there's more to be revealed later. But, like, I was expecting we might get that at some point, and it doesn't seem like we're getting that. So I was a little disappointed in that. I also thought the man marked by flames for Harold, is he the original man marked by flames? Is the final road poneglyph on Elbaf? Is Oda streamlining this plot line so that the Straw Hats can get to the final road poneglyph more easily? My mind went there. Is the mistake that Harold made tied to like him not work, like why he got attacked, and like in reference to this? Like, is there something that they asked him to do that he didn't do directly as a result of something? Is it possible that this is the beginning of the warlord system / like Lawrence brought up, is there a new person taking on this mantle as the man marked by flames? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this something that they just like, Harold was really good at this, kind of quelling all these pirates and people coming into the Grand Line and stuff. Maybe we have somebody do that long term. And I know I had my theory about like a former Navy admiral being it, but in general, if this person seems valuable to them to be duty bound to eliminate ships in this way, I think it makes sense for them to continue the tradition beyond just the warlord system and just have somebody dedicated to do this, some current god steel. You know what I mean? I mean, we'll get to that a little bit later. I did find it weird that in the Grand Line, there were multiple people who were unfamiliar with giants. I thought that was bizarre. I don't know if y'all felt that way. Because when Lawrence brought up a little garden and the Straw Hats being like shocked at Dory and Bragi, yes, but they're all dudes from East Blue that they ain't never been nowhere. Mm-hmm. You on the Grand Line. Elbaf has existed your whole life. You know what I'm saying? And apparently they used to rule the seas before rocks. So it's like you don't know what that is. You don't know that there's a giant person, that there could be giant people that attack you.
I mean, that was years ago.
I guess. Even then, like the folklore of the world, like you should know what a giant is, right? Like maybe I was leaving too much into that. But like when you're in the Grand Line, I know they're not in the New World, but in the Grand Line, I feel like giants existing should be more, I don't want to say common, but like more common knowledge than people are starting these rumors and Florian triangles and correlating it to, it was a human shape. Like, you don't know about giants? Y'all don't know about giants? Granted, Harold's bigger than a typical giant, but they don't see giants, so that should just be a giant to you.
I mean, they know, but
I don't know. I thought that was weird.
Do you know giant squids exist?
Sure.
So if you went on the ocean and you saw a giant squid, you'd be terrified.
It's not the fear. It's not the fear. It's the not knowing that it's just a giant. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm reading too much into that.
You're reading way too much into it.
Because they're like, it's huge and it resembles human. What else would that be to you?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're in One Piece, bro.
Yeah,
like,
but they just have never seen one in person.
But you had to have heard of a giant before.
You can hear about things, but you're still gonna be fearful and shocked that it's real life.
It's not the fear. It's them not coming to the a giant attacked me conclusion. Is my issue with it. Unless Harold is like, if he was wearing some like cloak to hide his body and shape, I'd be like, okay, the dude jumped out, full legs, torso, and swung the sword. And apparently that's what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So it's like, some gigantic figure attacked me in the middle of the ocean. It was a giant. Like, I don't know how you can't get to that space. Yeah. You can't get to that thought process. I don't know. Maybe I thought too much of that. I was just like, it's weird. That was weird to me. I did peep I did like them having the Yonko because they go on to be like these great pirates and everything. I like that they included Wang Ji because the dude's been here basically on the sea the whole time. He only got taken out a year ago. So it's like, what's he been doing? Has he just been on Beehive this whole time? Like, what other... They said they seemingly were fighting and claiming territory, so maybe he was trying to be a Yonko, get his name in the mix, and he just never rose to those heights. I don't know if him and Shiki have fought. I don't know if him and Kaido or Big Mom or Whitebeard have fought, but seemingly they're fighting over territory, and we know the people at the top end up taking the most territory. I did find it interesting that Whitebeard is over here. He seemingly is fighting for real. Like, he got black lightning coming out of his halberd.
I was actually...
Yeah.
So, I am so mad it didn't line up.
Uh-huh.
So, when I saw this too, I noticed the same thing.
Uh-huh.
The timelines almost matched up. I thought that was Odin.
Who?
That Whitebeard was fighting. Right here.
Oh!
But...
Bro, you don't know what timeline
Yeah.
that
No, I actually do.
is. Bro, you can't. There's nothing there.
No, because it says 33 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
It says 33 years ago. And literally, chapter 962 mentions the same exact thing when it talks about the remnants of the Rocks Pirates in the same exact order. So Oda lined that up. He says 33 years ago, the remnants Pirates are gaining power, doing all this stuff like that, whatever, right? If you go back to chapter 962, you see Odin. It's around the time Odin becomes daimyo of Kyrie and all stuff like that. Then it says years later, and this is 33 years ago, they start mentioning the Rocks Pirates in a similar fashion. So I was just like, hold on. So I start reading more because it's a little after that is when he clashes with Odin. But that point there is actually 3 years later. 30, because this is 33 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years ago is when he clashes with Odin. So I got hyped. I was like, oh, I put it together. I was like, no, you didn't. I was like, dang. So I got. So I don't know who he's fighting here. I thought it was Odin. I was like, yo, that's awesome.
They can fight each other. Who knows? I like them fighting. Dang, I had something. I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah. So I like seeing the Roger Pirates like this, kind of all grouped up. I also thought, where's Odin? Like, he probably should be here. He was the reason you were able to find the One Piece.
Word.
He's not here in the group picture. But whatever. I was like, I don't be knowing who all the Roger Pirates are outside of, like, the big five. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who that guy is or who that guy is over there. So,
Yeah,
shout out to them. I did peep Buggy doing the Nika pose. And I was like...
I saw that too.
That's cool, but where he learned that for real? Because I guess the Roger Pirates would know, right? The Nika pose and the dance. Like, I'd like to see them all do it, but I don't know. I thought it was cool. Them recruiting the Giants.
The bigger question is, how is Shanks doing the back shot pose?
Okay.
I can't.
Come on, man.
What?
Why is he doing that? Who taught him that, Rayleigh?
Oh, Shaggy's on the shit?
Shaggy's on everybody having a turn?
Okay.
That's wild. Wow.
Bruh.
Wow.
Bro.
You said that.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I gotta do better.
Yeah, bro. That was
I gotta do better,
crazy.
I gotta do better.
I hope they missed it.
I don't even know what to say after that. They get into the frenzy about people in the madness in the Great Pirate Age. I thought that was cool. And then them recruiting the Giants. I thought they would be more specific because I think, wasn't Giant John like the first? Like, didn't they make a thing out of it? Like, he was the first Giant to be recruited?
Yeah, he was like the first Giant.
I thought in the in the Herald, like, we'd get that. Like, we'd get Harold talking to him or something. I don't know. I thought we would get that, but we didn't. And then, I know we didn't get to the next part of it too much, but Harold's moving on up in the ranks.
Moving on up.
But that's it for me.
To the east side. Yeah, he was the first Giant to enlist into the Marines. Shout out to John Giant, bro. He was the Richard Pryor, you know what I'm saying, for the Eddie Murphys and etc. All right, for my turn. The Florian Triangle is officially back in One Piece, and I love it. For anyone who doesn't remember, the Florian Triangle is inspired by the Bermuda Triangle, the real-life Bermuda Triangle, a legendary region where countless ships and planes reportedly vanish under mysterious circumstances. The One Piece version carries that same eerie mystique. Most people forget to reach Fishman Island. Every ship must pass through the Florian Triangle. After Roger announced to the world that the One Piece was real, pirates everywhere set sail to find it, meaning a massive surge of traffic went through this region. During that period, King Harold used the thick fog as cover while attacking ships, hiding his identity in the process. If we assume the timelines line up, Lawrence, it looks like he did this for roughly 10 years to stay in the world government's good graces. Once Harold stopped because he was murdered 13 years ago, Gekko Moria took over the Florian Triangle's terror. After Kaido dealt him a devastating defeat, Moria moved Thriller Bark into the Triangle and dropped anchor about 10 years ago. He began stealing the shadows of any pirates he encountered to rebuild his army. This tracks perfectly with earlier hints. Harold was slicing ships clean in half, leaving nothing behind. Meanwhile, Kokoro told us that over 100 ships had gone missing in the Florian Triangle, many found as ghost ships with dead crews. When Harold was active, ships sank to the ocean floor. When Moria arrived, he was stealing shadows and leaving bodies to rot. Oda is essentially reframing the triangle as a parallel to the Bermuda Triangle, but giving it logical explanations first. Here's why ships go missing. Here's why no one comes back. Here's what's actually happening in the fog. But at the same time, Oda reminds us that not everything in the triangle has an explanation. When Lola and her crew fled Thriller Bark, they encountered massive dark figures with glowing eyes in the fog. The narration even emphasized that the mysteries of the Florian Triangle long predated Gekko Moria, and possibly even Harold. We still don't know what those entities were. I have a good theory now. My personal theory. Because Poseidon, the ancient weapon, existed during Joy Boy's era 800 to 900 years ago, I've always imagined that she played a role in shaping the world's seas. I like the idea that an ancient Poseidon may have commanded sea kings to form the calm belt as a protective barrier. And how cool would it be if she also ordered sea kings to generate the Florian Triangle's thick fog, both to disorient travelers heading toward Fishman Island and to protect her homeland for centuries on. Attacking intruders would fit this idea too. It would mirror Wano's natural defenses, an entire environment working to shield its people caused by, my other theory, Pluton, the other ancient weapon that resides in Wano. That's why I think the Florian Triangle's return is so exciting. It lets Oda expand both the lore and the mystery at the same time. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So for the messy part, and people are going to hate me, and that's okay because I get hated every day. It's finally confirmed that Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom weren't in their primes during God Valley. But let's be honest, we already knew that, right? The real eye-opening part is the timeline. They each reached their primes within 10 to 20 years, 33 years ago. And when you run the numbers, things get interesting, okay? So that means the absolute earliest that either of these three could have been in their prime was technically 23 years ago. 23 years ago, that's when their prime starts. That's what Oda just told us. 23 years ago, that's when it starts. Or it started 13 years ago, okay? So
it's a little early. That's a little late for Whitebeard, but
Yeah.
listen, it's wherever we have a time period now. All right. So Kaido fought Odin 20 years ago, which means Kaido was in his prime for 3 years during that duel, apparently. And Odin still nearly beat him. Kaido only won because Odin was tricked into thinking Momonosuke was being kidnapped. So with this new info, Odin has to be upscaled. I'm calling it right now. Odin has to be upscaled. Odin was a genuine threat to the strongest creature. All right? Now, Whitebeard fought Roger 26 years ago, meaning that clash did not feature a prime Whitebeard. Mm-hmm. He was still about 3 years away from his suspected peak. Yet, even in that state, he stood toe-to-toe with a dying Roger, who had roughly a year left to live. Whitebeard even commented that Roger looked healthy to him, while Roger was coughing out blood in his cabin. So while I personally still think Roger was stronger than Whitebeard, this info shows that neither man was at full power. Roger was terminally ill, and Whitebeard wasn't yet in his prime. Their winner remains up in the air, but this gives clearer context for where Whitebeard was in his development. This also gives Big Mom some well-deserved respect, Sebastian. It now makes perfect sense why Roger chose not to fight her 25 years ago for her road poneglyph. He snuck in and stole it instead. She had gotten significantly stronger by then, and even at that point, was still about 2 years away from her peak. That puts her in a far more impressive light. And about Roger, the most elusive top tier in this whole flashback, it seems like, right? Even passing away, and with only a year left, Roger kept up with monsters who were 2 to 3 years away from their prime. People will try to downplay him, but the fact remains, he had critical mass Supreme King Haki in his back pocket. He could have used that anytime. And we still don't know if any Yonko ever reached that level. Until proven otherwise, I still have Roger above all of them in his prime, for sure. But shout out to Odin and Lionel. I'm here for all of us on this table to apologize to you, my brother. I did not know that Odin went that hard. I think we can now speculate that Odin did have advanced Conqueror's Haki coding to where he wasn't touching blades when he questioned Whitebeard and Roger and why they weren't touching blades. I think he had it, brother. I think Kaido had his hybrid form too, most likely. I'm just putting it out there right now. We were wrong. That top 30, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, it's going to get real interesting when Odin come up. Y'all got anything to say about that?
Nah, I liked a lot of what you said. I don't agree with that Kaido part personally, but that's me. That's my headcanon. You know what I'm saying?
What Kaido part?
I still don't think Kaido was in his prime when he fought Odin. Personally. Because even what they say here is they, over the next decade or two, et cetera, whatever, right? It's vague. It's vague. And Odin himself told Kaido to get stronger. Mm-hmm. Himself! Say, yo, continue to get stronger. Now, people have argued to me that he was talking about his military force and his power base, etc. Mm-hmm. But to me, Odin don't care about all that. He's talking about you get stronger. But that could be cope. It could be. It always could have been. So
I'm just going what's given. Whatever Odin's picking up and putting down, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking up.
I'm sorry. The Kaido that Luffy fought is stronger than the Kaido that Odin fought. It just is.
Listen.
Am I tripping? Am I tripping for thinking that?
I'm gonna give you some leeway. All right? Because it does say 10 to 20 years, so we could suspect whenever these three had their primes, it could have been between 10 and 20 years. Mm-hmm. But if narration is telling us that this is so and so. Then you gotta believe it, because every time narration comes up for your debates, we have to believe it.
That's how bias works,
So
bro.
listen, man, I'm just saying.
To me,
it should be granted that
I'm down to upscale Odin. I like the guy. Let's not act like he not like that. I'm not acting like he not like that, but let's not get too much sauce over here, bro. Let's not put too much sauce on it.
So this is Let me add to it a little bit how, like, my perspective of things. One,
put it on me, bro.
Right? I believe
Mark was like, what?
One, I believe Prime, right, can start at an age, but doesn't mean, all right, you reach your strongest, your peak. As in, like, you can't cap out. I believe that in your prime is, like, your best condition and overall, right? But I still believe you can still go stronger before, anyway, age starts tipping you down, right? One thing I want to clarify, Sebastian, because you keep saying this about Kaido. Mm-hmm. What about Odin? because you do recognize they are the same exact age.
He ain't reach his prime. He ain't get to his peak.
Because like, right, one thing is, right, either you want to argue...
Got snuffed out.
No, even if you want to argue that Kaido wasn't in his prime, right, you have to say the same fact for Odin because they're the same age. When they fought, they were both 39 years old, right? But to me, if you want to use, because Roger was 39 at God Valley, Shanks is 39 now, Kaido and Odin were 39 when they fought, right? If you want to go, like, for them, that was the start or the year before their prime, they still had time to grow there, right? But also, too, what was said about Odin on his travels with Whitebeard ship and Roger ship, narrative-wise, this is Oda putting it out there for narrative-wise, it said that Odin became an invincible fighter. Right? We know, obviously, compared to Roger, Whitebeard, and others, he's not invincible because they're stronger than him, right? But it said he became this invincible fighter, right? But they're pairing that to what was said about Kaido. So you have this invincible fighter going against the strongest creature. That's the point where they're pointing it to the point where they fought each other, right? Of Odin and Kaido. And then it came down to, like, all right, the fight could have went either way. Like Larry pointed out, the only reason Odin lost that fight, you could say, was because he was distracted by the person because he thought he had his son.
See,
right?
to me, in my opinion, when they fought back then, I just thought Odin was stronger than Kaido. Odin was the one getting jumped by thousands of people. Had to fight through them. Kaido only had to deal with Odin, and he almost got sparked. So to me, Odin was just stronger than Kaido was, which is a part of the reason why he was PTSD'd and thinks about him in this way and has his reverence for him, and then went, when he told him to get stronger, I thought Kaido took that to heart and got much, much stronger.
So that's why I believe, though, you're not wrong. Because to me, I believe you could still grow from there. Even if you're in your prime, you still have an avenue to go before you start tiptoeing down in age.
I can agree with that.
You know, as in mostly in that One Piece, it's like kind of like most like your hockey.
Because
you're growing your ability with your hockey.
Peak and prime aren't the same thing.
Yes.
Prime is a window. Peak is my apex.
Yeah.
This is the height of my abilities.
Right.
But
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely interesting to think about.
So I guess we're gonna have to complicate peaks. Okay, so
goalposts will be moved.
So goalposts has moved a little bit more.
Goalposts will be moved.
This is how it is in the One Piece community, though. You be like, "Yo, we got clarification on something." It's like, no, no,
it ain't clear enough.
Don't do that.
It's not clear enough.
I don't want you to do that.
Listen.
You put the goalpost right here.
Goalposts gotta shift a little bit with some context.
Shout out to Odin, bro.
Contextual.
I'm about to call Lionel right now, bro. You think Lionel will pick up, yo?
Contextual goalpost shift.
Let me call Lionel, yo. We're gonna apologize to Lionel, yo. Let's see, bro.
You can apologize. I ain't apologize.
You think he gonna pick up?
No.
I don't know what he doing. You really put it to the. If he's not watching, you know that he's probably gonna be shocked. Why is Larry calling me?
He's not gonna pick up.
This is shy, bro.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
He's probably
bro.
doing something.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, whatever. Anyway, to move on from that. So the Giants recruited into the Navy 33 years ago most likely included Vice Admirals LaCroix and Lance. LaCroix was the Giant who said it was the first time he had ever looked up at someone when Oars Jr. appeared at Marineford to rescue Ace. That detail hits differently now for me, because if these Giants were sent from Elbaf to bolster the world government's ranks, there's a real chance some of them never even saw their own king, Harold, who was far larger than any other Giant. It paints a picture of Harold essentially farming his own people for the world government, sending them off without instilling pride or loyalty toward their homeland. Then there's Vice Admiral Lance. He's the Marine who tried to sneak attack Whitebeard from behind and became the only person in One Piece history to get one shot by the Quake fruit.
Legend.
Despite that infamous moment, Lance survived, as we later see him in Film Z during a Kainu's meeting with the other Marines, which was like one of the dopest scenes. And then LaCroix is also present there, confirming both men are still alive after the Paramount War. I do wonder what happened to the other Giants recruited 33 years ago. This chapter says there was over a dozen, so more than 12. But we only saw 8 Giants on the Naval Giant Squad during the Paramount War at Marineford. It makes you question where the rest ended up. Maybe another retcon from Oda, or others were turned into slaves, Or maybe I'm just wrong about how many Giants I saw at Marine Ford. I'm not too sure.
It's also possible they just weren't there because, like, Virgo.
You're not ready.
Virgo wasn't at Marine Ford at that time either.
Oh, because they were G's?
Yeah, like they could be platooning at specific headquarters locations or specific naval bases, or just because you can't bring all of your forces to one spot because then every other naval base is going to be
that's true.
opened up for, and you would position probably Giants. You know, they should deter some attacks. So I don't know. I always figured people there was going to be more Marines that just weren't there. They just those are the people that made it. So, but that was all.
But that's really all I got. Guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. And our entire merch store is 27% off. And we have the new merch happening right now. And it's the Larry Tax merch. So cop it while you can. It's only 10 hours left.
Yep. All right. I'll get to some super chats now. We got a 1-month membership to Warlord Stash from Papa Josh. It says, y'all think Harold will turn from his wicked ways last minute or die a sucker? A sorry sucker. Hashtag Loki smashing Mosa. We'll get into that later, bro. They saw Vimu Dami reversing him and turning and ended up assassinating him seemingly. I'm going to say he's going to switch up at some point.
Yeah.
Another 5 from Wise Life Gaming. Will Luffy and Loki have to surpass Rox, Roger, Garp, and Harold in strength, hockey, by the end of the Elbaf arc? Let's do the big one. Hashtag quarter zip Seb. Hashtag Chuck the D pasta. Oh man. By Elbaf's end? No. I don't think so anyway, personally. You talking about Roger, Rox,
Luffy?
Garp, and
they're not. Luffy is not passing them that quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I ought to be power creeping these main characters a little bit, but we'll see. I don't think so, though, personally.
No, he's not going to pass them.
Another 10 from Black Shadow. Hey, Top Crew. This question is for everyone but Larry. If you were running an island in the One Piece verse, which tax would be worse for your citizens? The Larry tax or the Heavenly Tribute? LOL.
Having one of those or both of those is crazy on your island. The Heavenly Tribute. Are we celestial? Are we celestial dragons?
Is the Larry tax that bad?
I mean, they made that up, so that's on them.
bad?
They made that up to whatever they did.
Oh,
Go by what they be saying, that we be taking people's dogs, families, and stuff like that.
No, they say you take
They
people's
say
dogs.
you take the dogs.
I don't take those dogs.
No, they be saying about you too, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
The families, yeah.
They be saying
families, yeah. That's me.
Larry tax isn't as bad as the Heavenly Tribute. Heavenly Tribute is crazy, bro. Although them shirts kind of paint a different picture, bro. Use Waller. Use Waller. You gotta run that by HR. Yeah, I'll go with the Larry tax for my kingdom, man. Another 5 months at Nakama status for Azimba.
I'm taking everything.
Shanks isn't a rat. He's technically
The women, the children.
He's technically a spy. Hashtag copium. Yeah, I mean, we'll get into that a little bit later, but I thought that was kind of obvious, no?
Yeah.
Another Nakama joined the ship, and Ethan Hankins. Ethanikins? I don't know. Welcome. Another 2 Australian for Takeem. Perona giving Shwebby-chan uppies as merch. Okay. Another 5 from
That'd be
Nimbus
crazy.
Jujubee. Don't know if you guys heard already, but Joy Boy's voice actor was Luffy's original voice actor in the One Piece OVA, which was made before the anime. I read that on the Discord. I don't know. I've never seen that One Piece OVA, so like it wouldn't really resonate with me. But I do think it's a dope
Yeah, it's a dope homage.
Yeah, it's a dope way to pay homage. Another Nakama joined the ship for 24 months from Goatman Tees. It says, right when you think he beat the rat allegations with a laughing emoji.
Oh
Y'all really tripping with this Shanks rat stuff, man.
This is why I explained the whole Roger thing, because I know people get confused and take another way, and this we'll get to it.
Another 2 from Red Haired Gator. Does Shanks have the eye patch that Oda was talking about? I don't think so. I've always been under the impression it's either going to be Joy Boy or it'll be Luffy who ends up with the eye patch.
It's funny, because he could have just gave it to Zoro, because Zoro legit has one eye now. But I don't know what Oda's doing with that.
Yeah.
We'll see. Another 5 from J Dead Ends. Larry sent a chat a few episodes ago about a date, and you told me to run if she ordered a well done steak. She's now my girlfriend, and I got her reading the manga. Hashtag get up. I hope. Hey, W's in the chat for J Dead Ends, man. That's what's up.
You, bro.
That steak must have been medium or medium well. You know what I'm saying? Medium rare.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She a good one, bro.
Yeah, bro.
She could read.
Mm-hmm. Need a girl that can read.
Need a girl that can read and likes to read in her spare time, and not just manga too. Like she should be reading some stuff. You know, education.
Now you gotta work on her staying, cooking those meals for you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure she don't leave that spot.
Okay. What's good with you, bro?
Maybe taking Larry's advice on that is not something you want to do.
Larry gave good advice last time.
Listen, man.
If she was getting the well done steak, that's not why.
That doesn't mean she can't.
Tell her
cook.
she can't move from that spot.
It means she can't cook me a steak. That's what it means. She making well done steak.
Stay in the kitchen.
What if it's her preference? She doesn't like the taste of like.
Then she don't know how steak's supposed to be there.
Stay there.
But for her, she could cook you away, and then the way you like it, and cook it herself the way she likes it. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's very possible.
It's possible. It's just weird, bro.
It's weird.
Listen,
You want to get back
man.
into it?
You protect her from the world. She protects the family. You know what I'm saying? That means stay in the kitchen. No, I'm joking.
Well,
Shout out to feminism, yo.
Yeah, shout out to feminism.
Yeah, bro.
He not displaying much of it right now. Shout out to feminism and women out there worldwide.
Yeah, bro. You could do whatever we could do.
You want to get to the rest of the chapter?
All right, so let's get to the chapter. All right, we return to the chapter and head to Marijoa. We hear celestial dragons admiring an ancient giant, wishing they could enslave it. Then we see a massive figure seated among the Gorosei in the Chamber of Power, also known as the Room of Authority. This towering silhouette asks what a Shallow's Covenant is. Workery explains that King Harold is now a trusted weapon of the Holy Knights of God, what they call a devoted blade. Harold proudly bears a tattoo on his arm as proof of this role. The Gorosei elaborate that the power of a covenant has 3 stages. The Shallow's Covenant is merely the beginning. The Depths and Abyssal Covenants are reserved for only 13 exclusive individuals capable of forming a contract with the true God. Harold asks, who is this true God? Ethan Barron responds that if Harold becomes a proper knight, then and only then will he learn the deepest truths of the world. Harold, excited, asks if that's when Elbaf will be allowed to join the world government. Saturn assures him that, of course, the announcement will be made publicly, and he will be welcomed. Harold beams with gratitude, honored by the promise. We then cut to an entirely new location within Marijoa, Shangara, the Knights' temple in the land of gods. Here we see a younger, more distinguished St. Garling, now serving as the commander of the Holy Knights. Garling wonders aloud what the Great One is thinking. Somers questions whether Harold can truly follow orders. A young Shamrock is present as well. Harold responds firmly that he can follow orders and that the Knights' words are his command. Garling tells him that they will summon him when he's needed and instructs him to keep a transponder snail on him at all times. Harold may go where he pleases, but he must never speak a word of anything that happens in this place. Harold accepts without hesitation. So, with all that said, what did you guys think about this section of the chapter, starting with Lawrence again?
Okay. Hold on. One, I didn't realize that the room that these 5 elders were sitting in was that big. Harold is sitting inside there comfortably, right? Like, that's crazy to me because all the times we've seen it, them they're sitting it, like that enough to fit him height wise, but also like just width wise too. Besides height.
Yeah, how do you get in there?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to think. Like, how's he sitting in this room with you guys? How big are these doors? Like, how did he get in here? That he just sitting?
Oh, they probably summoned him in there.
Maybe. I don't know. That was
Once they gave him the
crazy.
tattoo, they might have given it him outside.
Maybe.
I was just it blew my mind that fact seeing him just sitting.
Imagine they put it on him through like the sticky paper, and then they're like, "Yo, put water on it."
It's a temporary tattoo.
And going into that, so I remember we kind of talked about this too, where that was my thoughts too, that there's going to be different levels to the thing. And to me, this is just for like the knights. I don't think this includes the level. I think obviously if you get to like Gorosei status, you're at a higher level with Emu, with their contract or covenant, whatever you want to call it, or link-wise. Because I believe right here, this is just talking about when it mentions the Shallows Covenant, the Depths Covenant, and the Abyssal Covenant. That's all just the knight level. I'm guessing the Abyssal Covenant is the highest level you could reach as a knight in knighthood, where I think the Gorosei would be a higher version of, I don't know if each or it's just one, but I think it's a deeper, higher contract. That's my thoughts. Because I always thought there would be a different level to that. All right, so then, so I guess, I'm not saying I was right about that, but that was my thoughts too, and it makes more sense that way, right? And, sorry, right? I'm good that happy you point out that this was Shamrock and not Shanks, because right now it looks exactly like Shanks because it's young, right? But the timeline was because like you didn't get to that part yet, but we'll see the timeline is what adds up to why that's not Shanks now versus that is Shamrock here. I don't have much here, to be honest.
All right.
But yeah.
W. Roy for the 20 gifted memberships.
Hey.
Love you, Roy. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Everybody say thank you, too, who received that gifted membership. Thank you, Roy. All right, Seb.
All right. I also don't have too much here, but the 3 different covenants was very interesting to me. I did immediately think of Shanks and his tattoo that we see on Elbaf when he's talking to Gabon in the water at Ripley's house. But my take on each of the covenants is that the Shallows Covenant grants you the ability to be summoned. Larry had just kind of pointed that out. Or maybe it's just a symbol or being like proof that you are affiliated with the world government or with the Holy Knights specifically. The Depths Covenant would be the ability to use the Abyss Circles or summon other people. And then the Abyssal Covenant would be the immortality that's granted by Emu. So that's kind of where my mind goes with the stages of the covenants there. It's also interesting that they don't, they're willing to have devoted blades or blades of God that don't have this. Like, you kind of have to prove yourself. And like Larry said, Harold's basically been doing this for 10 years, and they still were like, you entry-level affiliated with the Holy Knights. So
it depends. About time he passes away.
Yeah, it's funny, though, because they offering this stuff right up to Loki. Right, like, immediately, seemingly. But I guess drastic times, drastic measures and things. Harold being so devoted, like, oh, it's an honor, and like he completely, like, it's like he's forgot all the messed up stuff that the world government has done. So, and I know that he's trying to get to this point where we're ingratiating Elbaf into the fold and stuff, and he has to play this role. But it's hard to see it sometimes, man. I'm not gonna lie, because I want to look at Harold as a good dude, and I think he is a good dude, but like he's such an idiot right now.
Yeah, he's a house ninja.
Yeah, right. Like it's tough, man. It's tough to see it.
Yeah, he's allowing.
What is that horse doing?
Throwing on that nag in the big house.
Oh boy.
Please stop. Well, they got Harold all in the big house. I'll say that much. I thought Garland kind of reminded me of Rayleigh. I don't know if y'all saw that. Maybe I'm tripping.
Gave you Rayleigh vibes?
Really?
Dark Rayleigh. Evil Rayleigh. It's just the glasses and the beard.
The beard, okay.
In general, I was trying to think if there's anything deeper meaning to the name of the Shangara, but I didn't have time to look it up.
The Bright King.
That's what it's called? That's what it means?
No, I was saying instead of the Dark King, he's the Bright King.
The Bright King.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. But I did like seeing Harold in there with the Gorosei in general. Because I know, for whatever reason, it made me think back to Vegapunk and his meeting with the Gorosei.
Yeah.
How he was so excited about finally meeting with them. And like Harold's out here finally meeting with them and he's excited. And it's like, in general, the regular people of the world, this is an honor. We know so much about the world government and what they are like. This is an honor to us. This is like jarring to us. But like everybody else, it's like, oh yeah, like I'm here with the Gorosei, like the 5 elders. These people run the world. Harold knows nothing about Emu. even then, when it's alluded to Emu, he's like, who's this God you speak of? He thinks he's talking to the highest authority in the world right now. And nah, there's a whole nother element to this thing that you're not allowed to know yet because you're not deep enough into it. Garling still being racist as hell is funny to me because his reaction to getting the King of Elbaf to be a devoted blade of his people was, what's the Great One thinking? Like, it's the best round beats you in a fight, man. You talking about what's the Great One thinking? Like, bruh, you should be happy as hell you just got Harold on your side. Shamrock and I forget his name. Sommers, yeah. Sommers. It's cool to see them like as young upstart Holy Knights like this. Shamrock looked young as hell. Like, I know it's not too long ago since God Valley, but he looked like 15. Like, I don't remember how old they're supposed to be exactly, but he looks really young. The Denden Mushi piece I thought was interesting, and I'll probably have a little bit more on that a little bit later. But essentially, it was the one pushback I had for the summoning piece, Larry, because if they could just summon you whenever, would they need a Denden Mushi?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could to negotiate to speak to you. Man, pull up.
Nobody always wants to pull up, bro.
That's my point. He's a slave. He's marked. He shouldn't have a say into when he's allowed to pull up
18.
or whatever. 18? Okay, cool.
Shamrock's 18.
But it was minor pushback. It wasn't like major.
But you still need to talk to somebody.
You don't. I mean, you do, but you don't. Again,
I just feel like it's super inconvenient just to be like, yo, sum me anytime without talking to me.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Like, that works against them.
Okay. It could, but what I'm saying is they have this view that Harold is beneath them.
That's fine.
I don't have to talk to you before I demand that you pull up. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it would be against them if they just couldn't like be like, yo, I need this info. You don't need to be summoned though.
Right.
So you just want to have this man continuously in your house, as big as he is, and be like, "Yo,
they walls big enough.
Did you eat something today?
They ceilings high.
Did you link up with this person today?
I was just saying, man. Check in, bro.
I don't know, bro.
Some people got parole officers.
I think you're thinking too much into it.
Maybe. But that's really it. That's all I had. So.
Okay. So let's talk about Emu and the power of the covenants. We now know there are 3 stages: the shallows, the depths, and the abyssal. I mentioned recently that Emu's possession abilities seem to have multiple stages too, and now it's starting to come together. So here's how I think these powers work. Let's start with Shallow's covenant. I believe every Holy Knight receives a Shallow covenant. This grants the user immortality while keeping their consciousness intact, unlike Domi Reversi, which overwrites your mind. Emu doesn't force you into a covenant bond, but they do force you into Domi Reversi. That's the key difference. Covenants preserve the self, Domi Reversi erases it. Now, number 2, Depth's Covenant. This is likely what the Gorosei and the Supreme Commander of the Holy Knights possess. It grants possibly a devil fruit, immortality, increased size, all while preserving consciousness and the ability to talk with the voice of all things. We've seen these traits repeatedly among the Gorosei. Now, for number 3, the Abyssal Covenant. This one is the most interesting. I believe the Abyssal Covenant is what allows the user to summon the Abyss Circles. We saw St. Saturn summon the other Gorosei to Egghead after they requested him to do so. And now we saw Gunko summoned to Elbaf after Shamrock gave the order. Twice now, only one member of each faction had the summoning ability while others had to request it. And the names Abyssal and Abyss Circle line up perfectly. This level also inherits everything from the shallows and depths, immortality, devil fruits, increased size, but adds the summoning ability. Here's the big connection. I believe anybody within Abyssal Covenant also possesses a hidden ability. They can be possessed by Emu. Both Saturn and Gunko, our only 2 known summoners, have been possessed by Emu. This is not a coincidence. Could others potentially be possessed? Probably. But Oda is drawing a very clear line here, and I'm just following the breadcrumbs he's dropping. So that's what I think about the powers itself. People could disagree, but I think the Holy Knights wouldn't just be the Holy Knights if they didn't have immortality from jump. But it's in different sections overall.
So just to confirm, you think even the Shallows Covenant allows for the immortality?
Yeah. So Harold has that. Shank. I won't get into it, but I think it's possible that if you have the Covenant, you get the immortality.
I do disagree. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I just don't think the 13 exclusive people have the immortality. That doesn't make sense when people like are turned through Domi Reversi have immortality. So if Emu's giving you a dose of their power and you have your consciousness, you have to have immortality, bro.
So my reasoning behind this is twofold. One is a little highlighted later in the chapter, so I won't get into that. But Harold's reaction. If Harold just got the ability to be immortal from this, I don't think it's this simple a thought process of it's an honor. Like there would be more there. Like you're like when we started seeing that people were immortal, it broke the series for a lot of people in One Piece. For Harold, who's lived in this world for this long, for longer than most people live, to now be granted immortality on like you got a tattoo and now you're immortal. Like I feel like this is too tame a reaction to that. And maybe that's me looking from a regular person's worldview, like not in One Piece. But to me, that this can't be how he would react to that information, right?
So what does Harold necessarily care about? The recognition of the world government and being included, or immortality?
The recognition of the world government, yeah.
Right.
But I'm saying he'd be more shocked at least, right?
If he doesn't care about it, then what's the point?
But now you know this is a thing that they do or can do. Like it's just you've turned the world on its head with that kind of information.
So this is only given to a certain amount of people, right?
Well, technically, yes, but that's the other secondary pushback I had. To me, making someone immortal should be a more like we don't do that all the time. Dami Reversi, in moments that I need it, high leverage situations, but like me granting immortality to people, it should be a select few.
So who do you think has more value when it's given to? The Domi Reversi or these covenants?
It's a weird question, but I'd say the covenants.
Right.
Simply because they...
And who are they given to?
The God's Knights. And
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're not throwaways.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, people in Domi Reversi are throwaways. And they have immortality.
But in my view, that's a temporary solution to a problem. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But even then, that fits the aspect of Harold having immortality too.
But the other part of this is, so they say you can only even get these other abilities or this other covenant once you know or create a contract with the true God, right? So it's like, if the deeper, my view is if the deeper contracts are only once you're able to know who Emu is, the immortality and even stuff that comes with Dami Reversi, you got to get in contact with Emu, or at least somebody who's already possessed by Emu to even get to that.
Okay.
So if you're not getting that from this, like how would you get the immortality from not getting connection to Emu? I guess is my real question.
All the covenants are bonds.
They're
bonds. They're bonds of Emu. Mm-hmm. Emu's not forcing this bond. Emu's directly saying, you're a part of my army. You're not an army I'm creating on the go. So if I'm creating armies on the go and they have immortality, why would I not give the people that are the army that serve directly under me not immortality?
But that
doesn't make sense.
No, you can grant the armies on the go thing. Again, it's high leverage situations. God Valley, Elbaf, right? Those are seemingly one-offs. Like it doesn't seem like Emu taps the Dami Reversi button often. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I don't believe that this is like this is my go-to game plan. I hit an island, we're gonna Dami Reversi real quick and make it stuff shake. This is things are going left. People are attacking the Mary Joie in the Holy Land. I gotta get in there and deal with it. Rox is here with his crew. This is the whole Davy clan. I gotta pack these people up. Dami Reversi button was tapped in those two situations, yes. I don't think Emu is casually Dami Reversing all the time.
How many times has Emu been off island?
Technically once. Well, twice if you count in the same. Yeah,
How many times was Dami Reversi used?
But again, that's the highest leverage situation that he was in.
There's no highest leverage situation on Elbaf because Elbaf they were in complete control over. They just came because they were like, yo, what's taking so long?
But two things with Elbaf is they know the importance of the island itself, and two, we don't know what's happening on the Holy Land, but Emu mentioned that whatever was happening here is taking too long, and we can't be dealing with both things. This needs to y'all need to wrap the Elbaf stuff up.
Yes.
So it's twofold, like the prioritizing of the island itself, and I mean, again, I don't have an example of Emu, obviously, to say that he doesn't do this all the time, but what I'm saying is I just don't think he's granting immortality to every person that's a devoted, like, bro, we're going to get into the Shanks conversation. By your notion, Shanks has the immortality, and it's like,
yeah,
bro, they got people, you can't, how do I say this? They forced Harold to do this for 10 years to even give him this. I don't think they're just giving immortality out to people, bro.
Why not?
It wouldn't make sense to me.
Why?
One, I think there's a limitation to how many people you can even do it for.
Why?
Because he said 13.
Yeah, that was 13 of the more devoted bonds.
But they have a select number in general.
Yes,
they
because
could just add to that number over time if what you're saying is true. They seemingly say it only goes to 13.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's probably
not going to be 14.
That's probably because that's what Emu wants, right?
Maybe it's what he can do, what he's able to do.
Why would you limit?
I don't know if there's a limit or not. What I'm saying is I don't think he's just giving immortality to every random dude that's useful to him.
Why are they random dudes? They're holy knights.
They're devoted blades.
Yes.
And they could be fake. They could be double agents. They could be not actually down for me.
So what can Emu do when that does happen?
He can do a lot. What I'm saying is why deal with it? Why not just have a select group of people that can do it that I actually trust?
That's who the Holy Knights are.
But that's what I'm saying.
This is what Harold is too.
But there's a separation between what Harold is and what a Holy Knight is. That's clear now.
No, there's a higher devotion.
No.
This is, yes, they just clearly stated it. Once you become a proper knight, so you have to be more devoted in order to get these bonds. If Harold is just becoming a holy knight, he's still a holy knight. You are directly serving under the world government and Emu itself. If Emu has proven through Saint Saturn that could just take away their power at any point, then them giving away a certain power doesn't really reflect or do anything to them to be a negative effect.
But we don't know what the effects of that is. We don't see Emu after the fact too often. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the effects of how many people he has to spread this power out to at a time. We don't know none of that as of now. Again, I'm speculating. You're not really speculating, but what I'm saying is I don't see Emu, who has this huge focus on, people not supposed to know I exist at all. That they can casually give out the immortality ability. Like, one, this would mean people that aren't Emu can give it out without him being in control of them.
Why not?
You think Saturn or one of these other Gorosei members can give out immortality at a whim without Emu being involved?
Emu is involved.
No, this is what I'm saying. Who enter into a contract with the true God, you have to get to a point where we trust you even knowing Emu's existence.
Yeah.
Why would they be giving immortality out if they can't even get to that point?
Okay.
You're not even there yet.
Okay, so whose power is this overall?
It's Emu's. Okay,
so...
Well, I don't know about this. This thing could just be a tattoo. Like, I don't know what it does.
I don't understand what you're saying that you don't know that it does.
Okay, so this is what I said. With the Shallow's Covenant, it says... It shows that you're one of the trusted members, like a weapon of the Holy Knights, right? Mm-hmm. But it's Shallows, even in the name. It's Shallow's contract, right? Yeah. It's but a mere trace of a bond. Mm-hmm. But the Depths Covenant and the Abyssal Covenant are only reserved for the exclusive individuals who enter into a contract with the true God. Mm-hmm. So it's like, this could be a mark to represent, you down with us. Uh-huh. But these other ones give you access to real power. Mm-hmm. That's how I originally read it. Okay. I opened my mind to say it could allow for more power there, but not. I don't think it's immortality for me.
So they call Harold what right here?
Where? What are you saying?
What they called Harold what? Like right here?
You are now a trusted weapon of the Holy Knights of God, a
And-
devoted blade.
Okay, so what did they call Gunko?
I'd have to.
They called Gunko a devoted blade as well.
Yeah.
So if they're
1160. Yo.
yeah, so that if they're calling two people the same thing, here's what I'm saying. That's already
So check this
there.
out. Check this out though. When Gunko was a devoted blade, because that was in the flashback, right? That they called it that. Or am I tripping?
Yeah. God Valley.
Who did Emu possess on God Valley?
Saturn.
Saturn, not Gunko.
Yeah.
So at that time, we don't know if she could have been possessed or not. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, we don't know that. I don't think she's still referred to as a devoted blade. She's just Saint Gunko Manmayer now, or whatever.
Okay.
And she's just probably one of the 13 people who have one of the deeper covenants. And now she can be possessed. Like, I don't want to say that's proof positive, but it's
What's
evidence that
what's triggering you so much that you just really can't accept that they would be immortal too?
I said it. Harold's reaction. That would be a huge change in his life view. And it's nothing. It was a yo, I got a tattoo today.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? That would be such a drastic shift in what he knows to be true in this world. Granted, I don't know what Harold knows about the history of Helboth and the history of the world, but he doesn't seem to have full knowledge of the world government. So if people turn immortal and I'm now immortal, there should be more here. To me.
What more do you want from Harold?
If he was granted immortality, I need more shock. I need more reaction.
What
This.
more do you want from
I would
me?
need more. That would be a fumble on Oda's part, in my opinion.
Why?
I just said it, bro. You're asking me
I
to
don't-
repeat myself.
No, I'm asking why would you need more of a shock?
Larry,
like what's there for him? Because
you're saying, yo, you're immortal now, bro, and this is it. It's an honor. Thanks. That's it. You're immortal.
Yeah.
These people have the ability to grant people immortality. That cannot be the reaction, bro. I'm sorry. That would be insane.
why would it be insane? This man is clearly trying to
Bro.
do what's best for Elbaf. He's already long living, and he looks at this as an honor because he's joining the ranks of the world government with his people. He can now live longer in order to reign, in order to get most of these things done. Why wouldn't it just be an honor for him? Like, I don't get why there has to be more shock. He's already happy as hell. He's already even capable of being in the same room. If anything, he's overwhelmed. Is he not?
I don't know. I didn't get immortality from this. I'll say that. But
I think if
could
you're
be wrong.
I think if you're just basing his reaction as to why the shallow covenant doesn't provide
It's
immortality.
not just the reaction. It's also only the 13 are reserved. I think there's something to that. I'm not just giving everybody immortality because they devoted blades, bro. You gotta be in my set. You gotta be in the circle of trust.
But then
for me to give you immortality and
Emu-
autonomy over the world.
Then Emu grants people who are not of the set and who are temporary
when I'm
immortality.
there, when I'm there to utilize them. If you're giving a person immortality with the expectation that they're gonna follow not your commands, but run missions for you and do your bidding for you, I need some higher level of assurance, some higher level of trust in that person to act out my will, even if I'm there or not.
Why? When I could just take it away from you.
That gets into a whole other bag of what Emu's actually capable of and what he can do with specific people at a given time. We've seen that with Saturn. We don't know what the differences between these contracts are. And again, to me, if there isn't at least this level of barrier between them, then Emu just being reckless with this thing.
So you're saying that Saturn has a deeper bond, covenant-wise.
He should have a deeper bond than Harold does. You're basically saying he got the same bond.
So if Saturn has a deeper bond with Emu is capable of just taking the bond away, right? But if somebody has a weaker bond with Emu, you're saying it's harder to take the bond away?
No, it's not. It's not about the difficulty of the bond. It's about that. This is why I brought up the fact that only these people are even allowed to know of Emu's existence. Like, I don't think they can give other people immortality without Emu being directly involved. That's why then you'll know the true God part is there. So it's like Harold doesn't know about Emu. Harold hasn't met Emu. He hasn't interacted with anybody that caused Emu to be involved. And he already has the tattoo.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if he has the tattoo and Emu's nothing doesn't exist to him right now, that to me tells me he doesn't have the immortality that would be required to get from Emu.
So Saturn and Gunko can summon magic circles. Mm-hmm. Is Emu doing that through them, or are they doing that?
I think they're doing that.
Right.
But I think they're of deeper contracts than him.
They're using powers that Emu has granted to them. Meanwhile, Emu's not directly there to cause that
because
power to happen.
they have depths or abyssal covenants. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
They have these two. He's here.
Exactly. So if Emu is granting people powers, right?
13 people. 13 people.
Sebastian, you're losing the point. If people are granted powers through all three covenants, right?
We don't know that. We don't even know that. Again, what does it say, Larry? You are a trusted knight, devoted blade. The covenant has 3 stages. The Shallow's covenant is but a mere trace of a bond. That tells you can be immortal. A trace of a bond means you can be immortal now.
So what would you call Domi Reversi? A trace of a bond?
No, that's me actively taking control of your body live in the moment.
Okay. So is Emu possessing through Domi Reversi, or is he just turning people?
Both?
No, there's no possession there, Sebastian. So they're forcing you to accept a bond, right? Because what did Gunko say when Emu was being possessing her? What did they say when they were turning Bragi? They said, in exchange for one's life, thy shall be granted immortality. So that is a bond itself, but through Domi Reversi, right? Would you agree or no?
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so even if it's a trace of a bond, at the end of the day, it's still a bond.
But you're correlating a different technique. So Harold didn't just get Domi Reversi. He got a tattoo.
Right, because that's different from Domi Reversi, because Harold is able to keep his consciousness because it's a shallower bond than a Domi Reversi, which is forced. So let me ask you this. Do you believe that there's anything granted to Harold with the Shallow's covenant?
I thought possibly the ability to be summoned.
You think that's the only power that they received?
To be honest, I don't think he gained any power from this. This is just a mark to show the world or show people who are in the know, I am a devoted blade. I don't think he got power from this.
So why would they call it a bond?
Because it's still a mark to show your loyalty to Emu, so to the world government and the celestial dragons, etc.
Would that be a brand?
It could be a brand. I don't know if it's a tattoo or brand. It could be a brand.
But they don't use brand and bond the same way. They're using bond as a category of 3, signaling that it's of the same category.
Again, you might get something. I just don't think you get immortality. That's where I'm drawing. I'm like, yo, immortality is too much for people who are technically outside the circle of trust.
Sebastian, but they're not outside the circle of trust because they're a holy knight.
He's not.
They just said that he's a holy knight right here.
Harold is not. Literally, once if the day should come that you are made a proper knight, that's literally in the same panel, in the same page. They don't view him as a proper knight
So
yet.
when he becomes a proper knight, what happens?
He would sign one of these deeper contracts. Depths
Exactly.
or abyssal.
So you just solved your own question, your own confusion.
No, I'm saying once he gets access to that, he would gain access to the powers that the holy knights get.
Sebastian, he's already a holy knight. Therefore, he's in a trusted group that nobody else is allowed to be in. He has literally received a bond of the 3 bonds that is handed out. In order to become a proper knight, they're explaining, in order to become a proper knight, you have to have a deeper devotion to this said God, who he does not know of just yet. Once he has a deeper devotion, he's granted these deeper bonds. That's all it's really saying.
So what do you think the deeper bonds are?
The deeper bonds are the abyssal and the depths covenants.
But what do you think those grant you? Because what you're saying
I just said what they granted you earlier.
Repeat them. Because what you're saying right now is I get everything I already would need from the Shallow's covenant.
No. Because if you're only granted immortality through the Shallow's Covenant, the other ones also probably provide the summoning ability, which is the Abyssal for the Abyssal pentagrams, right? And then you have the Depth contract, which is probably the allowance of immortality, increased size, Devil Fruit abilities, and the immortality, those things.
But the increased size only happens for Dami Reversi people. That's not something that anybody who's gotten deeper size, who's gotten larger in size.
Gorsei.
Using their Devil Fruits. No? Are they larger? Do they grow in size? Has that happened?
They've grown in size. Yeah, they became like mountains at the end of Egghead.
Using their Devil Fruits.
Again,
or whatever that is.
Again, we could talk about the extension of the powers, but overall, the granting of the Devil Fruit ability and the increase in size and the consciousness being still there and the immortality, all these things amount to a deeper bond within those covenants.
Hey, we gonna have to agree to disagree on this one, my G. I'm gonna be real with you.
I just feel like you're not offering up a solid amount of evidence to prove why you think a certain way. You're just saying you just don't like something because it's too powerful.
Out of control.
Nah, not even. I don't think.
You're saying that they're just not excited enough to just be immortal.
No, that's a part of it. I'm saying even within the flow of the story itself, I don't envision Emu giving Harold immortality based off what's transpired.
Why?
It's not enough. He doesn't know who Emu is. To me, you're not getting immortality unless, one, it's through Dami Reversi and I'm in control of you in this way directly, myself or via somebody I already have control over, or two, you're 1,000% down for the cause and you're in my trusted circle of 13 individuals plus my 5 Gorosei.
Lawrence, what do you think?
So I actually was, the time you were speaking, I was listening, but also looking up things to compare certain things. I'm going to be real with you. First, I was agreeing with you, Larry, because I thought the same thing. But not necessarily Sebastian convinced me because you weren't saying anything that was convincing. Mm-hmm. But I was looking into the chapter. And honestly, we might get it with the next panels of my thought. Because I was thinking the same thing. Why would Dami Reversi give you immortality, but the Devoted Blade not? That doesn't make sense to me, right? But in the next panel, I think we actually get the answer. And it's not a confirmed answer. It's a possibility. And I'm matching it up what we saw at God Valley. I noticed something. So I would wait until we go there. And then I'll put the two pieces together. What I noticed is not a definite answer in either or, but it's just a possibility. But ultimately, at first, I was agreeing with you. But then this made me, when I read those two panels I was reading from God Valley and the thing, made me question, is there a difference?
The difference in so we already know that there's an increase in strength if you have a devotion that's higher through the depths and abyssal covenants, right? Yeah. That's obvious. I would say if you're allowed immortality through the Shallow's Covenant, and that's all you get, bare bones, immortality, cool. Same thing as Domi Reversi. The next one after that, you not only have defense, you have the ability to summon people. You have the ability to have this extensive amount of Devil Fruit that you didn't have before. You now have the ability to talk to each other, right? Through Voice of All Things, if it's not your own power. You also have the ability to increase your size, if you felt like it, and everything else after that. So when somebody says, yeah, your power is going to bolster, I would say to yourself, yeah, of course. That just makes sense in the exchange of how much you're going to be in this next covenant. But I don't see any reason to limit Emu and be like, yo, this person who literally can nearly do everything possible that they want to do couldn't just be like, yo, here's a little bit of immortality, or even give the Gorosei who have a deeper bond with Emu and can be possessed by Emu to say, hey, you're allowed to give out these little shallow covenants and it's a piece of my power. I didn't see St. Garling on God Valley doing anything out of the ordinary. All I saw was that they had immortality. I didn't see any Devil Fruits. I didn't see an increased size. I didn't see any of those things when they were versing rocks.
Yeah.
All Garling had was Domi Reversi behind him. And they were immortal as well. So for me, it's like, I don't think he could summon people because he didn't have the importance level of Gonko. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you look at Garling on God Valley and say to yourself, oh, he has deeper covenants? Absolutely not. He has the Shallows covenant.
Okay. One of us will be right.
I guess so.
You know what I mean?
We'll see. Do I have anything else? Oh, yeah. So I got a little interesting thing for the Shangara. Imu and the Holy Land of Marijoa contain a place called Shangara. And I've got so many questions I don't even fully know how to ask yet. For starters, the name Shangara sounds strikingly similar to Shambhala, the mythical kingdom described in Tibetan, I think that's how you say it, Buddhist texts, a hidden paradise of enlightenment tucked away in the Himalayas, which sounds like Marijoa, right? Then there's Shangri-La, the fictional utopia from James Hilton's Lost Horizon, a secluded valley where people live in near immortal peace and harmony. Both names carry connotations of secret, sacred, and untouched realms. Then we look within One Piece itself, Shandora, the ancient city on Jaya. The name Shandora shares the Shan prefix, and Gara in Shangara resembles Kalgara, one of Shandora's key figures. If you combine Shan from Shandora and Gara from Kalgara, you literally get Shangara. Granted, the name Gara might just be a name passed down through like generations. So, could Shangara be an ancient city tied to the winged people? We know the Shandorians eventually gained wings in the Skypiea arc, which suggests the Sky people and the Shandorians may have originally shared lineage. Maybe Shandorians were always Sky people but lost their wings after generations living on the Blue Sea, which is why Kalgara didn't have any. And maybe 800 to 900 years ago, the Shandorians were on good terms with the Lunarians who originally lived atop the Red Line, right where Marijoa is. Could it be that these ancient cultures built something together long before the world government existed? And if so, did Imu later tear it all down, repurpose it, and simply keep the name? I'm not sure, but the connections feel intentional and too intricate to be coincidence. I really hope Oda expands on this because Shangara seems incredibly deep and well thought out. And as for Harold, I have nothing to say nice about him, so I'm not going to say anything at all.
Oh man, I did like that connection. I was gonna say I could see that Shangara being like the formal capital city of the Lunarians, like when they used to live here or something, and it's just maintained that name for a long time. But I forgot to say it, so thank you for reminding me. I like that connection between Kalgara, Shandora, like just the Shambhala, the ancient city. Listen, I rock with it. There should be something more there. I think
Yeah, it should.
we might get a lot of different like mythos connections when we start getting more expanded view of Marijoa. So I'm with it.
Yeah, but other than that, let's hit some super chats.
You said I got nothing nice to say about Harold.
I don't. I'm not going to say anything.
I don't blame you, bro.
Yeah, if you guys like
funny.
the video if you can, please. And also remember, our merch store is 27% off, and the new Larry Tax merch dropped, so.
All right. We got another 5 from Yanko Mugi. It says, I'm a hater of Garling scarring Whitebeard, but Shanks having his Blackbeard scar soon after hitting up the Holy Land made me believe for once. # Larry Tags. We'll get into that a little bit later. Another 2 from Ale Yatusabe. It says, just woke up from a coma. Is Garling still top 15? Might be, man. Maybe. Another 5 from Chupa. Sup, guys. Want to say, # all my homies hate Harold. # can't spell Loki without W. # Dr. Umar won't stand for Harold. Another 5 from Nicole L. What are some things y'all want to see after the flashback? Personally, I hope to see the crew get power-ups and Luffy meeting Imu. # St. Figureland Larry. Yeah, I mean, we're all waiting for that. Personally, things I want to see. There's something that came up in this chapter that I think I really want to talk about, but that'll like be revealed after we get to a certain section. But yeah, I can't really get into it now. So
Yeah.
do y'all have anything you want to see, or just keep moving? I'll keep it moving. Another 2 from Hussein Caddy? Sorry, bro. Loki joining Luffy or Blackbeard. # paying my Larry tax. If I had to guess, it's more likely he'll join Luffy because I don't think Loki's a bad guy. But that could also be a part of his story, right? Joining the wrong side. Another 2 from Ale. Shanks acting on Mary Joie was corn tier. LMAO. We'll get into that in a little bit. Another 3 from Yonko. Another 3 months at Yonko status from the FedEx guy. Out of all the characters that do not have a Del fruit, which mix do you think would be the dopest? Shanks with his sword having a Nell's fruit is OP. Garp with the Gura Gura would go crazy. I think Garp with the Gura Gura is top 1. I'm so serious. But y'all know how I feel about the Gura Gura. But like, you're already adding Garp's power, potentially critical mass type power with the Gura. It's just stacking.
What was it? Garp with the Gura Gura or who?
Shanks with the Nell's lightning ability in the sword itself.
Garp with the Gura would be crazy.
It would be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't really have any others that I could think of, at least off the top of my head. But yeah. All right, another 2 from Nico. It says, rank the moms. Estrid, Ida, Usopp's mom. # Larry Wallen. Yo, why you come at Ida, man? Estrid, Ida, or Usopp's mom, man.
Oh,
Talk to me. It was targeting you, so go ahead, bro.
I'm going to go Estrid, Usopp, and then Ida.
In what order? Like, that's good order?
Yeah.
You trolling now, bro. Now you just trolling. Now you just trolling. Now you just trolling. Are you talking about fines? Like, what are you talking?
No, just...
Okay. All right, man. All right. Another Nakamura joining the ship in CJ Troy. Welcome.
No, Usopp's mom is second.
Estrid at 1 is absolutely...
Shout out to Estrid, yo.
This diabolical work from you, man.
She tried.
Another 5 from Mr. Rich 44. Man, Loki should put his pops to sleep. I can't lie. # Slavey is cool, I guess. # what are we doing? Another 2 from Colton Rockhart. Best part of birthday being on a Monday. Keep it up. Thank you. And happy birthday. Another 4 months at Nakamura status from Isaiah Trill. Yo, like and subscribe. # Garling versus King. I got Garling. And yeah, guys, like the stream if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're interested or having fun. Another 5 from Pastor C. Just realized why Oda did us dirty with last week's chapter. He had to deliver with dusk before the dawn. Yeah, man, I like this chapter a lot. And another 100 SEK from Mopping Floors. Sengoku only said, only because it's you, I will allow it, when Shanks asked to bury Whitebeard and Ace. Do y'all think he said it out of respect for Shanks' strength, or because Sengoku knew he was originally a saint? I don't think it's either, technically. I think it's because Shanks is genuinely a decent dude, and Sengoku's like, yo, of all the evil and grimy pirates that exist out here, he's one of the dudes that like aren't just terrorizing the world and are actually a symbol of some level of peace. So he was with it. Plus, in general, what was he gonna do? Fight Shanks? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that what we know? I don't think he was in a position to do that with the rest of the Navy either. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that as well. But I think a little probably added towards it. His lineage, I think, played a part. A small part.
To me, that takes away from it, personally. But that's me.
No, because Dofi still had... How Dofi was able to pull what he's going to do when he's he's worse than...
Yeah, but he actively was leveraging against, you know what I'm saying? Like leveraging his lineage. Shanks is like showing up, yo, out of respect for what I do out here. Not, yo, my daddy said this. Or you... Or maybe tell my dad on you, like not saying that's what Shanks is doing, but I don't think that's how Sengoku was taking that moment.
No,
it's like, yo, if I don't do this for him, I'm gonna have a problem with Garling. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the...
No, that's not what I was saying at all, and that's not the factor of what anyone should be taking about the one, how they view it. He's no longer. I think it was just out of respect for, like you said, his character, but also he does have that blood in him.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you think Sengoku is out here like, yo, out of respect for Garling and the Figureland family? Like, I don't think Sengoku cares. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe,
you know what I mean?
Only because I'm only saying it because they answer to them. All the Marines answer to not just the world government, especially the Celestial Dragons.
But that, to me, if it's not out of reverence, then it's out of, if I don't do something, something bad can happen because Garling is who he is. You get what I'm saying?
That factor shouldn't be in there at all.
If it's not, that's what I'm saying, Lawrence, if it's not out of reverence for Garling, then it's out of some semblance of hierarchy or fear. And I just don't think Garling played a factor in Sengoku's decision making. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it is.
See, you're viewing it that way, that way. I don't see it that way at all. Like, when I see this, because you have respect for someone's lineage, doesn't mean you're doing it out of fear. It's just like you're part of the class anyway that rule like me, like pretty much, and you're actually one of the decent ones out of that. You know, yes, you became a pirate. You chose your own way of life to choose, but out of respect for that, I don't think Garling has a factor to do what Shanks does at all for anyone how they view him. I think Sengoku was thinking Garling, if he even knows at all. You don't have to fear Garling to show respect to his kids. I don't put that factor in there at all in the slightest. Like, I don't think he has any fear. Also, too, like, to me, Sengoku's probably strong. I mean, with the whole immortality thing, but strength-wise, Sengoku's probably stronger than Garling. So it wouldn't even be a factor. Oh, I'm scared of you.
All right, you want to get back into it?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, this one's a bit of a read. This was long. All right, we jump back into the chapter and return to 20 years ago on Fishman Island in the Ryukyu Kingdom. We hear two people laughing. It's King Harold and King Neptune. Harold tells Neptune to forget it, but Neptune insists that he should listen because he's not talking about just any mermaid. Supposedly, this future mermaid may be born with wild, disruptive powers. Harold responds that if that's the case, then it's a match made in heaven. He raises a toast to his little brat Loki and Neptune's future daughter, who he jokes will be Shaggy. Neptune, annoyed, says she absolutely will not be Shaggy. We then see Queen Orihime holding her newborn boys. Later that year, we move to the Owl Library on Elbaf. Harold tells Saul he's welcome to stay and settle down here, but he wants to ask him something. A confused Saul asks what it is, and Harold wonders if he'd be willing to join the educated scholars of Elbaf and help open a school. Saul accepts, saying it sounds nice. We then fast forward to 15 years ago when a shocking event took place on Mari Joa. Celestial dragons are panicking. Slaves have escaped, cages are broken, and chaos is unfolding. Someone urges the slaves to hurry before they spend the rest of their lives in chains. We see that it's Fisher Tiger. He's running through Mari Joa, freeing people until he comes face to face with a hooded figure. Thinking it's a knight of God, Fisher Tiger lunges to attack, but the hooded figure snaps the chain around his neck mid-clash. He tells Fisher Tiger that he left the armory unlocked and explains how to get there. Fisher Tiger is stunned. Explosions erupt across the Holy Land. Someone questions where the gunpowder came from. Sandersonia calls out to a shackled Boa Hancock, telling her someone's come to save them and is fighting to help them escape this hell. A young koala is also urged to hurry and run. We're then told that this incident, later known as the ransacking of sacred Mari Joa, was caused by the man who would become the captain of the Sun Pirates, Fisher Tiger. Next, we cut to Harold addressing his fellow Holy Knights. He comments on how wild last night was, and Somers suggests someone from their own ranks must have opened the armory for the escapees. They're now searching for the rat. Outside, Celestial Dragons scream for blood. Meanwhile, Garling introduces his son to Harold. Garland explains that Shanks is the younger brother of Shamrock, and that they were separated at birth. He's survived the gauntlet of the lower world, and he's joined the Depths Covenant. He'll receive an instant power boost, possibly rising to Shamrock's level. Until then, he'll serve as another devoted blade of God, like Harold. Harold agrees, saying that he thought the same thing about Shamrock at first, but asks if he and Shanks have met before. Shanks snaps back, saying he wouldn't know a lumbering peon like Harold, and demands he never speak as if they were equals. He vows he'll become a knight before Harold ever does. Harold tries to apologize, but Shanks turns away. Shanks is then shown walking with Shamrock. He orders his older brother to tell him more about the Holy Land because he wants to become the hero who catches the one responsible for the attack. Shamrock speaks calmly, saying there's plenty of time for that once Shanks's wounds heal. But Shanks cuts him off, saying he hates everything about the blue sea below. Harold watches Shanks walk off, clearly curious about him. So guys, what did you think about this section of the chapter? And we'll start with Seb.
Okay, so I have a decent amount to bring up here. One, I like that Oda is consistently showcasing kings of nations in communication with one another. It like adds to the world building of One Piece. I think it makes the world building seem more authentic because in general, like if you're a leader of a nation, especially great nations like Fishman Island and Elbaf, with lore and history, like you should be in communication. And it reminded me that Harold did say he'd been to Fishman Island before, so I like forgot about that. I had to go back and look at it. So that was pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna go all over the place with this one. Did my Loki went to Raijin Island theory just gain steam?
Why?
All right, so the reason why I say this is because the way the New World is set up, once you leave Fishman Island, Raijin Island is one of the islands that you're directed to with the log post. So I remember Smoker went there because he thought the Straw Hats would go there because it was the most dangerous island after you leave Fishman Island. Granted, they had used the, I forgot what it's called, the white current thing to get there, but either way.
White currents?
Yeah. But either way, I thought about that just in general with the Fishman Island and Elbaf connection. But the bigger focal point to me is Mosa highlighted, well, not Mosa, but let me start over. If Shaggy is indeed either King Neptune or Shirahoshi, that somebody actually did predict out there a while ago. I think we got a super chat about it as well, which is kind of crazy. And them having some sort of relationship, then it's possible that even Loki's been to Fishman Island during that like 6-year run that he was not on Elbaf when he was escaped. Granted, Shaggy and Loki never seem to have met, so the theory still has some connective tissue that's lacking there. But in general, I think it's possible Loki was in that area, Raijin Island, whatever. But the bigger focal point to me is if Mosa highlighted that he didn't think he'd be able to call Loki for a while, making Loki suspect that Mosa was in danger. If King Neptune or Shirahoshi is in danger, it could tie into the Blackbeard Pirates and finally making their move on Fishman Island. So I know we've talked about this in the past, but the potential time dilation of Elbaf. Essentially, if time does actually move slower on Elbaf, that gives Blackbeard the edge in terms of time to achieve a number of crazy things. Karibo should have already been to him and talked to him about the ancient weapons if time is moving slower or faster. And in general, like, he could have been to Wano, Fishman Island, and stuff would be on Blackbeard's hit list. So if Mosa, who potentially is Shaggy, who is potentially King Neptune and or Shirahoshi, is telling Loki, oh, I don't think I'll be able to call for a while because they feel like they might be in danger, I think there might be something there. And if you go deeper into that, they also were talking, like Mosa was talking to Loki about like an incident. And Loki's reaction was, oh, if I was there, I would feel a way too, and negative. It could be talking about the situation that happened on Mary Joie where Shirahoshi almost got taken by the Celestial Dragons. So it's like they were going to try to make her a slave. His dad became a slave. Like I was going to make some correlations to that. But in general, Loki wouldn't be cool with that. Now, in regards to the betrothal, or like for them to get married one day, I thought that was really interesting because when does Big Mom and Lola's marriage get brought into play here? Because Harold seemingly signed off, or was like jokingly, but he seemingly was cool with a Shirahoshi-Loki marriage, right? But at some point, he signs off on a marriage between Lola and Loki to create an alliance with Big Mom. If he's so entrenched and so entrenched inside this like world government view, creating an alliance with a pirate like this, unless it was asked of him from the world government, I just don't see how that would work. I don't see how they would be cool with that. I don't see why he would be down. He was already so adamant about connecting with rocks. Like, why would he be cool with a marriage to Big Mom's kids and creating an alliance that way? Now, granted, it could have been a Loki decision, but who knows? It just kind of, I thought that was kind of weird. I did wonder when we saw Saul, like if he had increased the warnings of the evils of the world government to Harold, which might have made him more weary of their connection and then passing out to go to the Big Mom direction. I don't know. There's still more questions there. Seemingly Shanks assisting in the freeing of Fisher Tiger and the Boa sisters was not on my bingo card. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to that part, right?
Yeah, you got
you got past it, right? All right, it wasn't on my bingo card. Shout out to Koala. Somebody asked us the super chat already, but the wound there does seem fresh, and this is gonna sound like cope, but I'm gonna say it anyway because we already here. Shanks the wound being tended to recently tells me this clash with Blackbeard was recent, and Shanks being introduced to Harold as a member of the God Steel faction in general tells me that he was probably a Holy Knight affiliate when he had his clash with the Whitebeard pirates, and would stand to reason that Garling or Shamrock were there with him during that exchange with the Whitebeard pirates, where he got his scar from Blackbeard, and a certain pirate captain very well may have had an interaction that led to some level of scarring from somebody who looks like Shanks. Yes, we're back. And I know I'm being petty, but I figured I'd point it out because, like I said from the jump, it didn't have to be a God Valley. Not done. I really was wondering who Harold was referring to when he said Shanks reminded him of someone. My mind went to Roger, but I don't think him and Roger ever met, apparently. And he also said it about Shamrock. So I started wondering who he could be talking about, and the only person that made sense, and maybe you guys have a person, is actually Rox. Because Shamrock and Shanks are technically Davy Clan members. And so is Rox. So...
No, they're not.
They could be.
Yo,
They could be.
I don't think I've ever seen you speculate as hard as you have this episode.
They could be.
It's honestly like crazy.
Okay.
Any episode we've ever had, it's never been this bad, bro.
So you don't think it's even remotely possible that Shanks and Shamrock are Davy Clan members? They were birthed by a woman who's from God Valley, the place where the Davy Clan has been at for
Are you
hundreds of
saying
years.
this is why Harold is like, yo, I recognize you?
Yeah. If y'all have a better answer, by all means.
Yes. You know,
Okay, hit me.
Say it, Lawrence, because I know what Lawrence is going to say.
Yeah.
Because it's Shanks.
Wait, what?
What? How?
I have a better answer.
I was going to say, right?
I
was going to say he vaguely remembers Shanks when Shanks was on Roger's ship.
Oh, why couldn't you just say that?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I knew we had the same answer,
Okay,
but you just said it mad weird.
My reasoning was, and that could very well be the case, my reasoning was, I don't know that he's ever even met Roger. Like, I thought he did, and I had my whole diatribe earlier about how, we didn't get a Harold and Roger interaction.
This is where, like, I feel like sometimes, like, there's some charisma that you have with, like, the chat and, like, our fans, that anything you say is just believable. But then we'll offer less speculation and more evidence as to why something is true.
Okay.
And they just side with you no matter what. So, for example, you're just saying all the speculation, right? You don't know how Harold could have met Roger, right? But Gabon has been on the island for like 20 years. So if Gabon is there, there's a high chance that Harold had to have met Gabon and the Roger pirates. And if that is true, Shanks had to be there too.
Maybe.
And
so Harold passing by was like, yo, who's that little kid? Yo, I don't really know him, but like he has red hair. And then he sees this kid later on and it's like, yo, I thought Shamrock was, nah, yo, who are you?
That's better than what I was saying.
And
so I'll take that.
And also, like, we didn't get a Garp and Harold meeting on panel either. But they know each other. They spoke of each other. All like
Bingo.
You know? And also, too, we're seeing that Elbaf is a key factor into the ancient history and everything. There's no way they don't make this trip to here. You know? So it's like,
I don't know,
they
bro.
definitely know each other.
Listen, it's all percentages in this game. I just feel like the percentage leans heavily towards him being like, yo, I saw you on the Roger Pirates.
Yeah.
No, I'm with that. I just didn't.
Just a lot
I was
younger.
in this like, yo, they never met. But if they've met the Roger Pirates, then yeah, I'm fine for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're specking hard this episode, bro.
It's always speculation.
You know what? He not wrong.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But yeah, that's really it for me.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, okay. Law?
Okay. All right, hold on. You get where you left off. No, you get. Yeah, so one I got to mention here, this case in point about one, let me go by the timeline because I was paying attention to the timeline heavily during this chapter, right? So we see Harold and Neptune meeting here, right? And it says 4 years from sure Hoshi is going to be born, right? And we see that he's married already, and he's had his firstborn son, I believe, or maybe his we don't know which son it is, but we know he's having his kids already, right? This is actually 6 years after Roger rolls up on Neptune to speak to him, where he gets the whole Poseidon prophecy. Yeah. Because at that time she says, sure, Hoshi's going to be born in 10 years. Mm-hmm. Now they're saying he's going to be born in 4 years. Do the math, 6 years.
Good
right?
point out. Yeah.
So I want to point that out, right? So this is 6 years after Roger was on Fishman Island before he became Pirate King for the whole the poneglyph and everything, right? Also, this to me adds into my point before. Remember I was saying before that Big Mom, seeing how we saw with the whole Kaido and the fruit thing, Big Mom's kind of delusional and kind of like lives in her own mind about certain things, right? To me, this kind of proves to another case where, in hopes of wanting to rectify her bad relationship with the Giants, she wanted to offer Lola, right? This is my mind. This is all whatever. But obviously, what we're seeing here, he signed off with the Mermaid Princess already, and also what we know Loki's character. It's looking less and less to me this marriage alliance with Lola, Big Mom's daughter, and Loki is looking very less lucky. But it was all in Big Mom's head and trying to bring them two together, right? Trying to think because of what she wanted, right? So yeah, and.
Just to mention, because I know Seb pointed out earlier and I searched it up. So Lola's 26. Harold passed away 14 years ago. So the latest he could have been involved with like that marriage was like when she was 12. So he was trying to marry off Lola at 12 to Loki. I don't know how old Loki is right now.
Loki is like the same age as Big Mom.
Well, I mean in like giant years.
Okay, I got you.
I don't know how old he is.
He older than Shirahoshi is. I'll say that.
Yeah, but when two opposing kingdoms, they always do something like that.
It's betrothal means in the future date.
Yeah.
So once people are of age or whatever, it's still weird though.
Oh, of course it's weird.
No, I'm sorry. He's younger than Big Mom. I'm tripping. He's the same age as Lodo. Oh, what's his
Rodo?
Name? Rodo. His same age as Rodo. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then so the whole daughter thing, it makes you laugh like how they view it, and then also too Harold, like he was worse. But I want to point out too, because I know you're paying attention to the name. They said she would not be Shaggy. So if you go back to the same chapter I was talking about, where it's like 10 years. I'm sorry, where Roger met with Neptune, right? This is chapter 967, right? And I believe they're continuing a play on here because the whole joke comparing, all right, that's your daughter, so she's going to be like you. They, instead of using the word Shaggy, they use Harry. Yeah, you and your hairy daughter. She would not be hairy, right? So I think in the same situation here, like, yeah, in your Shaggy daughter, she would not certainly not be Shaggy. So I think they're using the word Shaggy and Harry as a similar note, pointing that your daughter's going to look like you, Neptune. Which we know that's not the truth.
He has a lot of taco meat.
A
lot of taco meat.
A lot going on there.
And you know these girls be having a lot of hair on their lower backs, bro.
He lying.
Bruh. Anyway.
If you got a girl at home, look at her lower back, bro.
Okay.
If she Latina, check the arms.
Yeah, you gotta check the arms to Latina, bro.
I can't with y'all. And also, I want to point out, this has to be done. Yeah, stupid. Right?
Marv laughing, I know it.
I want to point out, it's just funny to me that we have Saul here, right? Which could have blew up his entire operation with Harold. Because we all know the library we have has all the books of O'Hara in there, right? One is wild that Harold, you must know of O'Hara. Again, going about the evils of what happened here, but you're still trying to sign them and thinking that they're the good guys for the peace of Elbaf, whatever. And then you have Saul, O'Hara survivor, who took all the books and brought it to your kingdom. And you're like, yeah, let's build putting in the library, let's build a school. Right? Like, to me, it's just funny how this is happening.
It's not
The
clocking.
it's like it's not clocking into you, and then the world government doesn't know this.
Harold would have killed him, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, he probably would have, bro.
Would've took out Saul.
Yeah, he would
Yo,
have took out
probably
Saul.
would have.
He would have banned books. Crazy.
Yeah. I was just linking that too, because like you look at Saul, his face is burnt. So it's clearly afterwards, because also Saul's things like even though he's taking refuge in Elbaf, how he viewed Elbaf beforehand. He said those savages, right? I can't tell if he's a giant from, because again, there's not just giants are not all from Elbaf. So was Saul not a giant from Elbaf, but he's taking refuge in Elbaf because reasons, But then what we have here, like pretty much, he's bringing all these books because like later on, the current storyline. How the world government reacted when they found out the books. They burned them all. Like, yo, this is beef, whatever. So it just makes you laugh that this is happening, and Harold is low-key just influencing it without like fully even realizing, unless he does know and just like, man, we're going to do what we want, So then, same with Sebastian. I would have never called that a young Shanks, it would have helped Fisher Tiger free the slaves in Mary Jo. I never would have called that. That I was like, wow. Also, too, I remember because there was a mix-up. So, Sebastian, I think you were right in this aspect, right? Whereas it was like, or was it someone? It was one of you two.
We had a debate about whether it was a while ago.
This was so long ago. I remember the debate. I don't remember what side I was on.
No, you were on the side. No, so I was trying to say that Fisher Tiger climbed the red line. You were saying there's no real evidence of that, and you were saying he probably didn't.
Yeah, I was saying that they lied to say that he freed the slaves in this way, when in reality he was a slave.
I'm surprised you remember that, Lauren.
Yeah, I was like,
I remember now.
Yeah, you remember now.
Yeah.
I remember when I read it. I was like, oh, we had that debate.
Right, yeah.
I just don't know what episode it was.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, maybe he spun the block, huh?
Nah, it's happening right now. Because, like you said, the fact that he got free from the chain showing that while he was a slave, he escaped. Because to me, we all got it. Because you're pointing to when Fisher Tiger admitted to his crew, he was a slave.
Yeah.
Right? So when he admitted that, to me, I thought he left and then came back. But you're like, no, that was like the twist. They believe he climbed it. We're like, no. While he was, to me, I don't even know if he was even trying to free the slaves. I think
he was trying to get out of there.
I think he was trying to get out of there. Shakes was like, no, here's the armory. Like, and kind of aided. So in a way, he used Fisher Tiger, but Shanks is kind of the one that pretty much freed the slaves with the directions by like, yo, using covert ops, like, yo, I'm gonna get caught if I do too much, but I'm gonna use you because Fisher Tiger, he was out for himself. He was getting out of there. I don't think he was gonna do all he did, but he used his opportunity from like a knight himself helping him out and doing it.
Did you just write small W's for Sebi?
Gotta placate sometimes, man.
I can't.
Yo, wrote it for himself. Yo, you're petty, bro.
I am a little bit.
You petty as hell, bro.
That's crazy. So
You have...
I wrote Semi, so they think it was you. Lowercase W, though, y'all. Lowercase.
See, y'all be getting manipulated, bro. Y'all just don't notice it, dog.
Lowercase.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Somebody said,
So we saw you do
we saw you do it.
you see me pressing it. Anyway, yeah. So then, also too, Bowen Hancock's age, she's like 16 here, right?
Yeah,
Paying attention to the
she's
timeline.
really young.
Yeah, paying attention to the timeline, and
I think she's younger than that.
Cause she's 31
I think she's
now.
like, yeah, she's 31.
31 now, minus 15 years.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He said I'm stat padded.
What?
Stupid.
I don't know.
What about?
Anyway, yeah. So also too, again, pointing out is like I believe that Harold is recognizing Shanks from when he was on Roger's ship because I believe they met. Because how wouldn't they meet? Sadly, Oda didn't give us that. I wanted to show that interaction with Harold and Roger. I wanted to see it, but Oda, for some reason, doesn't want to give it to us, right? And to me, clearly with these actions here, right, with Shanks doing this and freeing the slaves on Mary Joa, and then his actions towards Harold, because Harold was literally about to blow his cover. How they don't know that Shanks was on Gold Roger's ship, I don't know. That's where like we call about like, yo, the Gold government, do better with your research and reconnaissance, because how y'all not recognize Shanks on Roger's ship, right? Because none of them point to it. He's like, yo, don't be cool, Harold, be cool, right? As he's about to go, so he has to act this way, right? And then also too, he says wasted 24 years of life, and then he hated it. So for those who really believe that these are how Shanks really feels, we legit see, literally in the same chapter, him smiling when Roger and him becomes king of the pirates. We see him smiling at it, right? So, so I wanted to add some other stuff here too, right? Because I thought this is very interesting. Shanks here's like what his motive here. So again, I pointed out that when Roger becomes king of the pirates, he is 52 years old, right? And Shanks is 14, right?
15.
14. He's 15 when Roger dies.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, my
15
bad.
when Roger dies, right? It's like a year later, right? So what I'm so curious here is that you're checking that Shanks says 24 years of his life wasted. So from the span of, if you want to go, I'm going to use from Roger became Pirate King. Yes, it's like when he leaves Roger's 15, right? And in the span of till now, that's 19 years, right? Because 14 is when he's still on the crew. But when he actually leaves the crew because Roger passed, it's 15 because Roger passed. A good 19 years go by. Then he goes to Mary Joa, right? 24. So it's like, that's a huge window of time before you actually go to Mary Joa, right? Because also, too, I found the chapter where him and Buggy were speaking, right? And that is chapter, crap, hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. No, that's talking like a bod. It's like 11, I'm sorry, it's like 1082 or something like that, right? Because I'm not seeing it for some reason in my notes.
We don't need the chapter number.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, right? But he mentions, right, is that, because you know the whole thing, Buggy thinks, yo, you're going to be the next king, and how that line. But Shanks says, oddly enough, that he changed his mind, right? He's not going to go after the One Piece yet, but I'm still going to be a pirate. So again, right here, for people believing that this is Shanks, no, Shanks always planned to be a pirate, right? But he said he changed his mind because he kind of wants to do something first. And then 19 years go by from that date when he spoke with Buggy, because that was on Roger's, the day of Roger's execution, right? 19 years later, he goes to Mary Joa. But also check the timeline, right?
Sure, it's 19 years.
Yeah, because 14, he's 24. He's 15 when Roger passes. 15 to 24.
It's 9 years.
It's 9 years, bro.
You said 19.
19.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm like, am I
19. I'm sorry.
19, bro.
I know what you said. Yeah, because 10. Then I said 2. I know I said 19. I guess I got 19. Yeah, so 10 years, 9 years. So I'm going to say 9 years. I kept saying 19. I'm sorry. 9 years. 9 years. 9 years. Yeah. So 9 years has gone by, right? But he wants to do something
There's
else.
2 apples. Take 1 apple away.
Sorry,
How many apples do you have?
The whole time I think I'm saying 9 years, but I kept saying 19. So I meant to say 9 the entire time. But yeah, so, but also too, if you check the timeline, right, when we get Gabon speaking with Shanks, right, is a year after this, because Shanks is 25. Shanks is 24 here, but we see where Gabon is speaking with Shanks on Elbaf, the same year where Harold passes, is a year from the current storyline, from where we see Shanks with Shamrock.
Yeah.
A year goes by, then Harold gets poked up by whatever beats, and Shanks is on Elbaf speaking with Gabon. But also, his words here, because going by, I'm thinking of why Shanks went to Mary Joa, right? Because he also mentions, Shanks mentions while speaking to Gabon that Harold's here and they worship him like whatever. And he says, I met him at Mary Joa, Shanks says. All right. And he also mentions how that there's so much he's learning or trying to learn, right? What's so funny?
Yo, I'm just trying to keep up, bro.
Am I confusing you? Am I making
Just a
confusing?
little bit, bro. Just get to what you're trying to say.
No, so what I'm trying to say is like Shanks came here with a motive, right? To me, part of it was I guess free the slaves, right? But when I'm here too, like I would just read it, right? Because he mentions, life has changed so much. This is on chapter 1152 is when the flashback I'm talking about, where Shanks is with Gabon. Right? He says, life changed so much. My plan was to join up with Buggy and lead a laid-back pirating life. But even here on Elbaf, there's so much for me to learn, right? So this is literally a year after he left Mary Joa, right? So remember, he said his plan was to do this with Buggy. Buggy turned him down for whatever reasons. Then 9 years later, he goes to Mary Joa, to learn whatever. Something is that he's trying to learn something at Mary Joa or get some information or whatever. And then as soon as he takes that information, he leaves Mary Joa and becomes like, and then I guess starts pirating again. My question is, does Shanks have his crew yet? Right? Because 9 years go by.
He got his crew at 22 years ago.
22 years ago.
Well, that's when he
recruited Yasop.
Yasop, right? Yeah.
So I kept looking for that. It's not in the manga.
It's in Chapter 0.
Chapter 0.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 22 years ago, right? Because then he did have his crew then.
Yeah, he was gathering them.
Yeah. So
and then he just bounced.
Yeah. So I don't think he bounced. So that's what I'm saying for printing for people's. Thank you for that. Because actually helps support what I'm trying to say. Shanks already had his crew already. And then while he had his crew, I guess tells him like, yo, hold up for me. I got to check something out Mary Joa. And then does something to get some information, whatever, prior to why he's moving later on. So with that in mind, because he only speaks, I don't even know if it's the full year he stays there on Mary Joa, but he gets his information and then eventually leaves, right? Because right here we see him. So he's with his crew. Why his crew's not with him with Gabon, I don't know. But he has his crew already, which I thought was very, very interesting. So I wanted to put that timeline in perspective.
He out here pulling a law, leaving the crew somewhere on an island.
And then doing some covert ops on Mary Joa.
Possible they're at Elbaf.
Elbaf, maybe waiting for him. It could be. Because those two Shanks mentions, the reason why he came to Elbaf right after Mary Joa, he said there's something that, he says that me and Harold, there's something that we couldn't speak about.
Yeah.
So I came here to talk to him before it's too late. You know, and then sadly, Harold gets poked up.
So this was
we only got until 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, just letting you guys know.
Okay. All right. So then the last thing I want to finish up because right was also what I was pointing out to of why I think I'm not sure. Like I believe I was on your side first. What you were saying, Larry, is that if you look at the titles of Shanks and Shamrock, it says Devoted Blade, right, and then Shamrock says Holy Knight. And if you go back to God Valley, when you see where Gunko is introduced, right? And I believe that's Gunko's mother from the current storyline, right? It says Devoted Blade, right? But then when the knights assemble, right? When Garling assembles, like the knights are stepping in. I noticed that Gunko's not part of that crew for whatever reason, right? She's not there with, and they show all of that. They show Summers, they show the one that Whitebeard wiped out, whatever, like and then regenerated. All the knights on the island are there, but Gunko's not part of that, right? Yeah. And here in the title, it doesn't say knight or holy knight of Emu. It just says blade of it. Well, the other ones are recognized as knights, and then which is the knights are assembling. Goku wasn't there, so. And then at that time, Garling is a knight, so I don't know if the knights of the blades of Emu. I don't want to call it Emu God, but pretty much the blades of Emu are not recognized as a knight yet. So that's what I was looking at. So I'm not sure. It's like I was with you, and then when I was looking into that, I don't think they're fully registered as knights because even in that situation there and in the labeling, they're not called knights.
So more than 44 years ago, we seen Gunko in the Chamber of Flowers with Emu. She didn't age a day, right? So if she's apparently having these higher devotions of Covenant, that means she's probably not aging like the Gorosei didn't age. So she doesn't have to be in that Holy Knight panel because she's of a higher devotion than the Holy Knights are.
So do you think that was Gunko now or the Gunko we seen on God Valley?
I think they're both the same person.
I think they're different people only because so now this one I don't know what Oda's doing here. First I thought it was because he played it. Right now we see Shanks and Shamrock with the Saint in their name, but we see on Elbaf when Shamrock was first introduced, he didn't have the Saint. Same with Gunko, but we see the Gunko at God Valley have the Saint. So first I thought maybe the purebloods have the Saint, while the ones who are like are not purebloods, I guess, for the Sister Dragons are not called Saints. But then now Oda just kind of ruined it here by adding Shanks and Shamrock with the Saint, even though later on, current timeline, he takes it away. So I don't know, maybe it's a mistake, but that's why I thought maybe it's the mother and not her because also long hair and then short hair.
That just cutting hair.
So my secondary question, I was going to bring this up because we didn't get to this part, and I guess I'll make this quick. with that, so do you think Shanks just got promoted to this? Like today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he just came there because he's 24 years. So it's in this timeline. So it wasn't a long time he was there on Mary Joa. And they're seeing it out. Same thing with Harold.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
No, I was going to ask because he has the wound. So I was like, if he has this tattoo and he got the wound, then why is he not recovering with the immortality? But if you're under the belief that he became a devoted blade like today, then that would be...
He just got there.
Okay.
Yeah, he just got, and also too, we kind of discussed that he already had his pirate crew, right? Because he got it 22 years ago from the current storyline. So
That's it?
yeah,
All right. So let's talk about one of my favorite all-time characters, Fisher Tiger. Lately, there's been a lot of uproar because some fans think Oda has retconned his story. Boa Hancock once said that 15 years ago, Fisher Tiger climbed the red line with his bare hands and entered Marijoa to free the slaves. Now we're seeing that he was always a slave, but here's the thing. We already knew Fisher Tiger had been a slave. He told us before he passed away refusing a human blood transfusion. Sebastian even questioned whether the stories of him climbing the red line were true or perhaps an exaggeration. Well, I'm here to say it's both. True and not true. Fisher Tiger was a man shaped by turmoil, anger, and heartbreak over how humans treated his people. When he became a slave, he realized that humans weren't just cruel to fishmen. They were cruel to each other as well. More humans suffered than the fishmen he sought to protect. So even though he was freed by this hooded figure, I don't think he went straight to the armory. I believe his first instinct was to save himself. But once he hit the water, he knew deep down that running away wasn't without helping others was wrong. He was a man of morality, vengeance, and empathy. He couldn't accept human blood to save his life, yet he understood the moral complexity of his choices. As he told his crew, "There, I witnessed the barbarity of humans. I barely escaped with my life, but I couldn't bear to abandon the other slaves." This shows that he did, in fact, escape and then returned. Putting it all together, I believe the real story is that Fisher Tiger escaped, climbed back up the red wall, entered Marijoa, reached the armory, and freed as many slaves as he could. Oda has done something similar with God Valley. Sengoku didn't tell a lie, right? But there was some nuances to the story. That's exactly how I think Fisher Tiger's story should be understood. So I think we were both right in that regards.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Shanks, because this chapter added even more weight to why he's one of the most decorated characters in the series. Think about it. Think about what this man had actually done. He helped Fisher Tiger escape. He stole the Nika fruit right out from under the world government. He stopped Kaido from going to Marineford. He ended the Paramount War with a walk-on cameo. He never lost a duel to the world's strongest swordsman. He split the sky with Whitebeard, the world's strongest man. He intimidated an admiral from miles away. He one-shotted Killer and Kid. His hockey gets compared to Joy Boy's. He inspired Luffy. He made Blackbeard turn and run. Like, come on. That resume is insane. This is why some people call Shanks the GOAT, and honestly, there's nothing anyone could really say to dispute it. Now, people saw Oda lean into the rat allegations and started wilding out. But let's be real. Oda didn't show Shanks snitching on anybody. He showed Shanks helping Fisher Tiger free slaves when he was 24. That's not being a rat. That's being a problem for the world government. Put some respect on his name the same way you put respect on Dragon's name. And since we're on the topic, let's talk about the Mihawk fans, because they're the ones hurting the most right now. We know Shanks and Mihawk fought before Shanks lost his arm. That's exactly why Mihawk refuses to duel him now. He keeps saying Shanks is weaker. But look at the actual timeline. Their clashes had to happen between Roger's execution when Shanks was 15 and 12 years ago when he lost his arm. That's a 12-year window for those that don't know. But Mihawk got the title of the world's strongest swordsman at 19. He joined the Shichibukai not long after. So for 12 years, neither one of them could beat the other. Meaning the greatest, strongest swordsman in the world couldn't put down a teen who eventually becomes a Yonko. If Shanks had the Shallow's Covenant boost during that time, which I think grants you immortality, that means Mihawk still couldn't finish him. And if Mihawk can't break through someone with that level of hockey defense because he doesn't have critical mass Supreme King hockey, then he's not surpassing Roger,
Garp, or rocks. That's just facts. And let's be honest, you'd have to be coping hard to believe Shanks is the same strength today as he was when he was 15. Same goes for Blackbeard. People love bringing up that scar, bro. They really do. But he gave Shanks that scar when Shanks was 24, before he was a Yonko, before any Covenant stuff, before his prime. Blackbeard couldn't even beat Ace without nearly dying, and Magellan one-tapped him. Shanks would wash both of them without breaking a sweat. There's levels to this, and Shanks sits at the top of them all. So, I'm going to push right into the final part of the chapter. For the final part of the chapter, we return to Elbaf inside the fisherman village. Someone is yelling that they don't know enough about medicine and suggests calling Harold to send a proper doctor. The sick person insists they can't. Harold is busy with work. The caretaker snaps back, asking what's the point of Harold's job if it's not to help in moments like this. We then see Ida in bed, looking ill, insisting she'll get better on her own. The man taking care of her says she's clearly getting worse by the day and that Harold would be heartbroken if he saw her like this. Ida tells Mato to go run the bar, but he refuses. Not while she's sick. She refuses, not while she's sick. The caretaker reveals that every time Harold returns to Elbaf, he tells the elders he wants to marry Ida. Ida brushes it off, calling Harold a fool, saying she'd rather run the bar and meet sailors from other lands. She feels she's already supported Harold in small ways all this time. Suddenly, Loki calls out for Ida. Mato storms outside and angrily confronts him. Loki explains that he brought food and water for Ida and that he needs the bar open because it's a place he loves. The caretaker comments that Loki may have grown bigger, but he's still an impudent brat, and Ida is the only one who could tame him. He adds that Haruden is out with comrades searching for a doctor. Ida has 2 loving boys. Ida continues to downplay her condition, but thinks fondly of both Haruden and Loki. Loki returns to his mother's hometown, the Brewer's Village. There we overhear villagers questioning someone's statements. An old man tells Loki that he never wanted that outsider woman, Ida, to become queen. Estrid was the true queen, their people. They wouldn't let an outsider take away their fortune and status, so they gave Ida a bit of poison. The ergot spores won't stop once they take root, it's certain passing. Back in Fisherman Village, the caretaker tells Mato to contact Harold immediately. She rushes off. Ida whispers that it doesn't matter whether Loki is her blood. He's still her dear boy, just like Haruden. We then see Loki having destroyed the Brewer's Village. The old man responsible for poisoning Ida begs for his life. Loki, holding him by the neck with his hammer in hand, demands to know whether Ida will truly pass. The village burns behind him. Loki screams, remembering what happened with his mother Estrid, the way she threw him off the world tree. You want fortune? You people make me sick. Ida won't pass, right? She's the only mother I have. A flashback shows Ida asking the lonely young Loki if he'd like to live with her. That's it for the chapter. What did you guys think? Lawrence, go first.
I actually don't really have much here. The fact that Ida was poisoned was not expecting that. Because to me, I think it was a flashback because I didn't realize that Ida passed. Because I swear Hadruden was speaking of, like, getting his mother on the island. But now I'm thinking, I think it was actually a flashback with Lodo that he was speaking of it. Not realizing that. But yeah, the fact that, I'm not saying his character go for Loki, but the fact that he was able to appreciate Ida, even though he didn't really show it, he would show it in like a weird way, like always was mean to her, harsh to her, or whatever, and speak down to her. But he accepted her as her mother, as like Adruda's own mom, and the fact that he even crashed out because he found out she was poisoned. It shows Itch's side or hometown or family. They're all just evil. Like at this point, they think they're superior than others, and they're evil people. But seeing this too, Loki did crashing out for this woman who treated you like a mother while your own mother rejected you. Made me think of too, like just for Elbaf, right? Even though this island has evil they are, they probably deserved it. But how much terror Elbaf actually goes through? They went through Big Mom and her terror when she was younger. They went through Loki and they went through Harold and stuff like that. And now they're going through the current timeline with Emu and all this. Like a bunch of bad stuff that affects almost the whole island keeps happening on Elbaf. It's just crazy that they just endure it all. I guess because they're giants or whatever. But besides from that, it's just she's about to pass right now, and Harold's not here, and neither is her Hadruden, her biological son. Yes, she's surrounded by other people, and Loki's crashing out for her. But it's just she's not that she's gonna die alone, but the one she loves Even though I know she loves Loki, but the one she truly loves in Harold and in Hadruna, her own son, they're not here for it, where they're kind of like Hadruna's trying to find medicine and everything. It's like I felt for her, like, dang, that's horrible. And then you're taken out by, because you weren't even trying, what they killed you for, you weren't even trying to do, you know? Like, it's like she's not going to give the inheritance, but she's like, no, I'm fine with what it is. Like, Harold doesn't have to try and marry me to show that he loves me or whatever. I'm fine this way. But they're like, no, she wants the inheritance, she's going to take it, we're gonna poison her. So when she wasn't even trying to go, they poisoned her for it anyway. Just showing how wicked they are. But it's just, yeah, that's all I really have.
Sup?
Yeah, I don't have too much either. I will say the title of this chapter, for whatever reason, I thought Ida was pregnant again. No joke. And then when I saw her in the bed, I was like, oh man, she about to miscarry. And I was like, nah, it's just more symbolic about Loki being her actual son. I was like, okay, that's better. But my mind did go there. Beyond that, Lawrence highlighted kind of what I was going to say. Loki finally acknowledging that Ida is his true mother, even when she's not his birth mother, even though he said all this stuff about, like, you being a foreigner, you not being a true heir, blah, 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 true, like, queen, whatever. And him crashing out over her getting poisoned, it hurts harder because it's his biological family that's seemingly responsible for her passing. And it's like, the only thing he's ever took pride in was the fact that he was stronger than everybody else, which is ironically what sparked Harold and Ida's initial interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, Harold thinking, oh, well, all these people are weaker than me, so whatever. And it's like, this is the only thing Loki could take pride in. And it's like, nah, you can't, because even the people that you get that from, these are the kind of people they are. And they're poisoning the one person that you care about. And that sucks, man. I hope Ida makes it, but this is a One Piece backstory. So she a mom. It's not looking good. Harold failing Ida once again, man. He's not there for her when she's sick. And I know I brought it up last week, but he had all this, and Larry brought it up, and people have been bringing it up. He has such a strong conviction to reduce himself to a slave for the world government, but not the same level of conviction to stand up to the elders and secure his relationship with Ida. I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get that. Like, what can they actually do to stop you?
Spit, bro.
What can they actually do to stop you? And I don't have much more, but I'm disappointed in him, and I'm trying to be eyes wide open with Harold, but he's so infuriating a character right now. But that man about to lose 2 wives. I've been there. That's all I got.
Listen, man. I know a lot of people want to, get on Harold for his ways. Yo, y'all gotta go back to who started all this, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Nobody wants to say it, I'm gonna say it, bro. Ida at fault too, man.
Nah, see, you tripping, bro.
See, like, I hate when people be like, yo, I'm sick, I'm about to pass away due to some health, but all the things that I didn't do and the things that I did do shouldn't count because, like, you should have some empathy for me. And it's like, yo, I have empathy for you because you passing. I get it. I'm sorry that's happening to you, but we're not gonna just avoid, like, she was like, yo, I don't even want to marry this dude. I'd rather just go to the bar and just see other dudes. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but she was also out here, like, yo, again, you can't be the side chick and be like, yo, I'm happy I'm the side chick and I'm gonna provoke some type of, like, toxicity into this man's life and make it seem like it's normal. And I feel like, yo, y'all not realizing, but, like, yo, she did promote some type of toxicity. She was like, yo, you can run to me whenever your wife is not, like, treating you right. You know what I'm saying? She was like, yo, I'm going to take care of your kids when you're not here. Meanwhile, you trying to be a slave. She not telling him, yo, you should be here because you're the king of Elbaf and you're the father of these 2 sons. She's so, like, you got to put it this way too, right? Ida is at the point where she's just like Harold. She was willing to degrade her own race by putting on horns and being in jail at the entertainment of humans, just so they could think she was, like, some type of scary person. And I feel like we don't hold her accountable sometimes for the actions she's done to Harold and hasn't done to Harold. Harold obviously looked for her in advice and in composure and also in, like, goal setting. And she's just provided him this idea and said, all right, yo, I'm going to take a full step back and support you from the shadows, but like I ain't trying to be with you. I ain't trying to raise kids with you. I ain't trying to protect the family. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just letting you rock out. And whatever happens from it, yo, as long as you was just trying to be nice to other people. Like, she never had a serious talk with him. And guess what? Harold, again, because obviously he has the option to be with Ida. He does. He can just tell the elders, like, yo, y'all are too simple-minded. This is not how it's supposed to be. She's going to be my wife, but she's going to be at the bar. Whatever, right? Whatever. Like, because he didn't... How do I explain this, bro? Because he wasn't capable of going against his own people to their face, he wasn't there for his second girl who caught a disease and was sick. He's always put others' needs before his own people. And it feels like he gets upset because he's like, yo, but I'm really trying to do that for my people by putting myself first, by like taking the brunt force of like all the evils of the world government. So just they could have a chance at living. But he's sacrificing everything during that time period. And I feel like Ida has such an important role in his life that she doesn't offer any advice to him, ever. She never talks to him. So now I'm supposed to feel bad? No, bro. I'm not feeling bad for Ida, bro. I'm not. She's as much as a person of interest in this whole situation than anybody else, bro.
Yo, call your mom, man.
I'm not calling my mom.
Call her, bro.
I'm not calling my mom, bro.
Call her, bro.
I'm not, bro.
I need you to do that.
I'm not, bro.
I'm gonna call her. Alright.
Like, she really sat there and was like, yo, I'm not trying to be his wife. I'm trying to be in these streets.
That's not.
I don't know why he don't understand that. I don't know why he don't understand that, yo. I just want to meet other dudes at the bar.
That's
She said, yo, I feel like I helped out Harold in small ways. What small ways?
Oh my God.
What did she help with, bro? Taking care of my kid while I'm out here just... You know what I'm saying?
I don't have a response to this, bro. I don't.
This is crazy, bro.
You can't believe this.
I do, bro. I feel like Ida has a lot of flaws and nobody wants to point it out.
They said Larry gonna hold you accountable no matter what.
Absolutely.
Respect.
Y'all really gonna tell me she doesn't have any responsibility towards Harold and his ways?
Oh man, bro.
Istrid has passed long due, bro. She's been gone. So who you think he be coming to pillow talk? Her. And she's like, yo, why are you here? You know, like, I'm out here. He's like, yo, but I can't let go. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, nah, I don't. I'm getting attention elsewhere. Leave me alone.
Okay.
That's crazy, bro.
Be responsible for your mans.
Yeah.
He a grown man. He makes his own choices, bro.
So?
Oh man.
So you're saying your girl?
He's
no,
saying,
hold on.
What Larry's trying to say is that Harold should be taking into account her feelings, and she should hold more weight in the decisions that he makes, and she can vocalize what she thinks should happen more than she has. Right? That's the gist of what you were saying towards the end.
Yeah.
The other piece is where I'm like, all right, bro, you wildin' with the not caring about her passing.
No, I'm saying I do care, but it's like, yo, if somebody has a basement of children, and you know what I'm saying, they're doing whatever, right? And it's like, oh my God, I'm passing away. Oh my God, this disease is crazy, yo. But they had the ability to do something really like protective for the children instead of just not taking care of them. It's like, yo, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, your passing obviously gets empathy because you're passing, but come on, bro. You could have done something for the Elbath people. You could have literally given Harold the confidence he needed during that time of struggle. Instead, you just sat back and was like, yo, I just want to be at this bar. I don't really care what's going on.
I wholesale disagree with you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is tough. That was tough to hear from you, man. I'm not gonna lie. Call your mom. That's all I can tell you, man. Call her. I would have liked to have had a bigger voice, though. I can agree to that piece of it, but Harold's making these decisions himself, man. Harold needs to be held accountable for the decisions of Harold.
So if you had a girl,
Ida can't be held accountable for the decisions of Harold.
if you had a girl, right? You had a girl, and you were just out here not taking a shower, and your girl was like, "Nah, yo, let him be dirty, yo. I like when he dirty. I feel like I'll be helping in small ways. I'll be cooking. You know what I'm saying? I put away his drawers. You know what I'm saying? But you stink. Like you really are awfully bad.
It's never gonna be on her.
You're
for
gonna
you
be
to
like-
shower. It's
you're-
on you to shower, bro. You are in the social contract of
Hold
the
on.
world, bro.
No, you're absolutely right. But your girl is not even being like, yo, you should shower, my boy.
We don't know what Harold and Ida's conversations are like when we're not there. We don't see them. We never see them interact. We even see it, bro. We don't know what she's telling him.
She's telling him he's a house giant. And she's like, I'm a house giant too, so like I get it.
Oh, we gotta get to these soups, bro. We got 20 minutes left, not even. But you got everything?
Yeah, I'm finished.
All right, Lord, do you have anything else?
No, I'm done.
Also, I wanted to mention,
Yeah.
I really like the Shamrock and Shanks type thing now because it reminds me of Devil May Cry 3 with Virgil and Dante. And it seems like Shamrock resembles Virgil, the serious demeanor, all about power. Meanwhile, Dante is like the more fun-loving, charismatic one, which is like Shanks.
Yeah.
So it's giving me those vibes just a little bit, and I really like it.
I can see that.
Especially when they were walking next to each other.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is mad Dante and Virgil.
I low-key do want more Shanks and Shamrock. And I know I was a big, like, this is kind of dumb,
Yeah.
but, like, I'm with it. I
apparently-
want a buddy cop movie.
Apparently, the outfit that Shamrock is wearing right now and Shanks is wearing right now, it's actually switched when he
Yeah.
comes to Elbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he's
Love
like,
little
yo,
bro,
my
man.
little bro.
Little
Virgil loved Dante to a degree.
Little bro,
Right,
man.
right, Marv? In his own little way.
Not how I would define love, but I
Listen, bro. Lawrence tried to kill Lionel at one point.
I
So
did
it's
not.
like, you know what I'm saying?
I did not try to take him out.
All right, I'm going to speed run these because we got 50 minutes.
Yeah.
We got 5 from Ragnar. It says, hey, Top, love your content. What are your thoughts on Shamrock being Bonnie's father theory? I kind of like it just because of how tragically dark it is. But, like, I need more than just her. She kind of looked like him in the thing that Oda sketched. Another 5 from Larry the Goat. Why didn't Rox tell Harold about Emu? Maybe it would have changed Harold's thoughts on a lot of things and would have helped Rox. Hashtag kid is a bum.
You wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah.
He would have been like,
hold on.
bend me over.
Hold
Do
on.
what I need to do. Do what you
Hold
need
on.
to do. I'm
You know-
trying to be with it.
I'm gonna come at you for this, for your take on that when we leave here. But I'm gonna come at you. Another 2 from Dark Truth. Do you think Harold was Gunko's first big mission?
Might be.
No?
Harold was
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Another 3 months at Yako status from Chupa. Hopefully by the time I get to 4 months of Yako status, we get to see Loki murk Harold and celebrate as the worst protagonist type of character in One Piece, in the One Piece manga. Hey, man.
You know what's going to happen, right? We're going to see Harold, and he's going to think he's immortal when his men stab him. And then he's going to find out that, like, Emu took it away. And then he's going to be like, yo, I got really stabbed for real. And the whole thing with the Shanks thing, too, because it could be a good comeback, is like Shanks, how would he get his arm ripped off if by the King of the Sea Coast if he had the regen on? He was in the ocean.
Hey, man, a lot of things are possible. We got another 2 from Kaboot's Ideas. Panda Man sighting on the first panel. Yeah, I had it in my notes. I completely bypassed it. But yeah, Panda Man's on the first panel.
Yeah,
I don't know if
shout
you
out
saw
to
it.
Panda Man.
Another 2 from Brady, Georgia. Y'all goats. Hashtag Larry Tax. Hashtag swanging my hockey. Okay. Another 10 or 9 New Zealand dollars from the Dragon Truck. Larry, you got to keep the same energy about Ida, bro. Was tweaking on his live. Hashtag who hurt you. Hashtag toxic Larry. Hashtag sweetheart Seb. Hashtag milkman. Hashtag bang bang buggy gang. Thank you. Yeah, he kept that same energy, trust. Another 10 from Three Sword Style. In short, Larry said he hates good women who try to change a bad man into good. I don't think he said that, but okay. Another 17 months at Ackerman status from Misery Avenue. 17 months and going. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you, Misery. Another 5 from Andrew C. Larry confirming Mihawk downscale in the reaction genuinely made up for him throwing that pasta. Hashtag I'm half Italian, so Larry is half forgiven. Another 2 from Cyborg Frankie. Just got a topped hat and the options are fire. Hashtag merch. Yeah, check out the merch. I know Larry said we're currently everything in the merch store is like 20 or something percent off.
27%.
27% off. Yeah. Link in the description of the video. Another 10 from Type MX. Shank's definitely tight when he has to leave the cookout to go undercover. Yeah. Another 4 months at Nakama status from Darth Papa. Hashtag stay in the kitchen. Hashtag W Larry. You see what you're promoting? This is what you on, bro.
Larry Tate.
Terrible. We got another 10 gifted from John D. Water. Thank you, John. Another 2 from 1G Rose. Condoriano. Funniest Usopp moments. Go. Usopp Hammer was always something really funny to me. I don't know if y'all remember, but Usopp Hammer, when he would hit like opponents, like after they were like the one with Chu, more specifically at Arlong Park.
Arlong Park. Yeah.
Usopp Hammer. Another 2 from Papa Josh. Next merch gotta have Seb Uppies. Hashtag stay in the kitchen. Oh my God. Please don't connect those two at all. Another 5 from Eason94. What's up? I hope all is well with y'all with the praying emoji. Do you think we might see an emu-controlled Shanks? We brought this up a little bit ago, like a couple chapters ago, I think, and I would be with it personally.
No.
That's not gonna happen.
I don't think it happens, but if you were ever to get, people asked what would the most emotionally charged Luffy from a Dami Reversi be? To me, it's Shanks, but whatever. Another 2 from Sleeping Cavendish.
Over the crew?
Even over the crew. Sleeping Cavendish, it says Larmu hating on single moms and Ida. Hashtag Shia-ho. Hashtag Larry Tax. I think you called this one out already, or am I tripping?
Yeah.
Okay. Another 20 from It's Sin. It says, now that we have seen Roger and Garp team up, where do you put Prime Garp? Is he equal to Roger, or is Garp weaker than Roger, but stronger than Prime Whitebeard, or is Garp equal to Prime Whitebeard? Hashtag get up. I have them all pretty relative. If I had to scale them, I would put Garp over Whitebeard. Would I put Garp over Whitebeard?
Now?
Because the critical mass hockey thing is like important to me. Like
it's super important.
You know what I mean? If Garp can tap into that, I don't know that Whitebeard just straight up can. Maybe he can, but Garp got more time.
I believe Garp trained for it. Those punching away those nines,
I don't think that's just something you do once and you're like, yo, I could do it all over again. I think it's the same as Lawrence is saying. You have to train. Yeah. I think Roger and Garp definitely are. It's something like Joy Boy could have done. You know what I'm saying? Easily, in my opinion.
I'll say I'll go with Roger then Garp then Whitebeard, but they're all so close. Another 5 from a Canadian from Nova Knight. It says, what theory do y'all hate but think is likely to be true?
Any burn scar theories. Straight up.
I don't really have theories that I hate.
That's the only theory I hate right now.
Shanks passing my Blackbeard.
I love that. That's the best theory ever.
Passing?
Like he believes that Blackbeard's gonna take Shanks out.
Okay.
Oh man. Well, I don't think it's likely to be true, but I absolutely hate the Blackbeard Luffy team up theories. I don't think it's likely to be true at all, but I hate it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another 2 from El Yatusabe. They summoned Summers in his drawers. Yeah, they did. They did. Mm-hmm. But I do think there was a phone call that happened before that. Summers was on the phone when that happened. Yeah. Like he was on a Dendamushi when that phone.
They were talking about it to happen.
Another 5 from Nova Knight. Will Luffy challenge Loki to a Davy bag after he refused to join so that he could recruit him, possibly hearing about rocks in the present? Do we have time for that?
No, we don't.
I'm just be real. Like I don't think that's where we're going, personally. I'll say that's my new theory that I hate that could be true. Right, that one right there. Another 7 months of Yako status from Lotto Boy. 7 months of paying Heavenly Hurley tribute. Shout out to you boys, and here's to another 7. P.S. Will Seb keep the same energy with Shanks as he does with Corazon for betraying his brother? Hashtag Larry Tax. Return. Maybe. I might. I just might.
That makes no sense.
I just might.
Yeah.
I just might. I just might, bro. That's your brother, man.
You friend?
What? Don't do that.
Stop.
Don't do that. Don't
If
do
you find
that.
out your brother is evil and a piece of crap, and none of your goals are like,
Then beat him down yourself. Okay? All this snitching stuff, we got superpowers
You
in
just
here.
said he didn't snitch. Who did he snitch on? What's snitching about?
Corazon was snitching.
Oh yeah, he was snitching.
Yeah. That
Say
was-
snitch next. I'm talking about.
Yeah, I said maybe. We gonna see. Go handle that thing.
The age that Jonas kicked you in the chest, you snitching on him?
I ain't even snitched then.
Yeah, you did. You told
that was him.
You told everybody that you got kicked in the chest. That's
I told
snitching.
y'all.
No,
That's not the
no,
same.
You told
That's not
mad
the same.
people, bro.
It's not the same. It's not
You
the
told
same.
mad people, bro.
Trauma dumping and snitching is not the same. Okay? It's different.
Is it?
It's different. Snitching means you told some higher authority and had them go handle the situation for you. That's snitching.
You told Charles?
That's not higher authority than
That's higher than you?
That's not the same thing.
Yo, I don't know, bro.
Me telling my brothers that my brother kicked me in the chest is not snitching. That's not snitching, bro.
Oh, that was different.
Anyway, I got another. Y'all stupid. Another 350 from the Dragon Truck. Larry, if it gives him mortality, how is Shanks' arm gone? Larry already commented that Shanks was in the water when it happened. Another 499. Digital Cap. Why didn't Emu Dami reverse Sabo when Emu stabbed him like they did to Rocks? Did Oda just not think of that power yet for Emu?
Plot.
Hashtag Mexican Larry tax. In general, like, I don't like the thought process of, why didn't the big bad use their ultimate big bad move in this other situation? Because
Big bag
That's
situation.
just-
You should have
yeah.
kept it going.
but in general, like, you're not just gonna do that. To me, anyway, that's not how people work. It's the same way I don't argue that Luffy could just Bajrangan gun anybody. That's not what he's gonna do in any given situation. It's like, man, it's going left, Bajrangan. That's not how it goes, bro.
When in doubt, Bajrangan.
Is this coming from the person who said Kakashi could just cowboy anybody?
That was in a very different scenario.
Yo, every
Very
conversation,
different, very
every
different.
time Kakashi was versus somebody, yo, Kakashi could just cowboy his face off, and he win.
And Loki's supposed to be doing it with Blackbeard and the Gura.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't. It's not his ultimate. Whatever. Another 5 from Yako Mugi. Also, now I'm thinking the summoning circle used by whoever killed Harold was out there by Shanks as he was there in Elbaf, and he also had the same tat. Maybe. It's very possible. I was going to make a Departed reference, but we don't have time. Another 5 from Xavier Dilly.
They said cowboy around the world.
If the Blade of God have immortality and Shanks is a blade, how could he lose his arm after from the Neptunian? Blade of God is not immortality in my opinion. Again, Larry's comment on this of him being in the water and the ocean water could be the reason why he lost.
Also, when he left, he probably lost his contract, people. This covenant.
Maybe. Another 5 from Up One Chris. Yo, what's up, fam? What do y'all think about Blackbeard telling Shanks about more about his lineage mid-fight, causing the scar, and the staint Shanks we see as MJ? Hashtag Taxember.
Yeah, Shanks.
I didn't troll
Just
Shanks.
know you're a celestial dragon.
Yeah, I didn't troll him enough for getting bodied by Blackbeard.
Bodied? You don't even know who won that fight.
Scar on his face. Another 5 from Joey Dankson.
Yo,
Harold
bro said
tap dancing
bodied.
for the elders was not on my bingo card. Why not? After last week? Shoot. Another 5 from Age of Fodder. I don't believe the Shadow Covenant grant power because Shanks wouldn't have lost his arm so easily to lose connection. Damn, bro. If y'all all send this, I'm gonna be tight, bro. He was in the water. Another 5 from 1000 Sunny Will. Lucci will be promoted to Holy Knight next time we see him. He always gets a pay raise when he fails at the job. I can see it. Another 350 from Dragon Truck Seb. You a stronger man than me. I would have crashed out. I mean, I'd be crashing out. Another 25 AD from Scythe. It says, if Emu can just end Harold at any time, why would he need the pentagram to get there? Also, Shanks wound didn't heal if they are not immortal. Well, 2 things again. Shanks may not have had the marking when he got wounded, and 2, like Larry mentioned earlier, he was in the ocean water.
Yeah, but also
the Herald part.
The Herald part. Higher devotion means bigger sacrifice.
Okay.
Like Emu said with Domi Reversi. So
Another 5 from 100 D Hose. Going off Larry's mindset, Shanks is the same level as Harold, and he's healing from Blackbeard wounds. Hashtag Blackbeard upscale.
again, he didn't have the Covenant when he fought Blackbeard for sure.
Can't prove that though. The other 2 from Up One Chris. Gabon said they aren't immortal. He did. They're not immortal. I know we use the term immortal, but It's just the easiest way to convey what we're talking about, in my opinion. Another 7 months at Knockman status from Regal Sloth. Not sure I believe Larry's rocks takes after this. I don't know what you mean. Another 5 from Aliyatu Sabe. I get it. Larry is using this emu is limitless argument to upscale rocks. I'm on to you. Another 5 from King Peasant. Larry is 100% right. This means Shanks was Mihawk's personal regenable punching bag. When Shanks lost his arm, Mihawk was sad he couldn't play with his toy. Another warlord during the ship in Showtime the Goat. Welcome. Another 10 AED from Saif. One of the ranks might be related to aging as well. Could be. Another 10 from AJ the Prodigy. Harold is not a Holy Knight. They see him as a weapon. That's it, and that's all. The story has shown you that they don't trust/respect Harold. Why would they give him immortality? I mean,
They could easily take it away, bruh.
Another 5 from Isen. Do you think Kuma would have become much stronger if he somehow got on Roger's ship after God Valley, or if he continues to join up with Dragon? That's an interesting thought process. I'd say stronger on Roger's ship just because he'd be dealing with more hardships. Well, not hardships per se, but he'd be dealing with like other pirate crews that are like top tiers more often. And if he's there for a longer period of time, like I don't think he's learning Divine Departure, but he might learn something from Gabon or Rayleigh or one of the other top tiers around. Odin even, so who knows? Another 5 from Joshua Morris, but no super chat attached. Next time, let us know your thoughts. Another 10 from Showtime to Go. Any Monday with Top is a great Monday. Who do you think is more loyal? Killua to Gon, Zoro to Luffy, or Zoro to Luffy? Also, that Larry Tech shirt is awesome, and y'all got sizes for the big boys. Much love. Yeah, that's what's up.
Kilo would have gone.
I'm going Zoro to Luffy, but it's out of ignorance. I've never really watched Hunter x Hunter.
I got Zoro to Luffy.
Okay. Another 5 from Jordan Hart. Immortality and regen are different. Somers regenerates but ages. Gorosei regenerate and stay the same age. Different seals, different levels. You can see that. Another 5 from Dizzy BBL. I think Harold came across Roger's pirates on the seas, saw him happy, knew he was holier than thou was fake, but he knew Roger was one of the good ones. Yeah, that pointed out the that's how he saw Shanks before. I like that. Another 10 from Joshua Morris. Longtime Spotify listener, first time here and shouldn't be here because I'm only caught up in the anime. Def will have Yonko status next week, and that's on Larry's bald head. Hashtag unlimited love for y'all boys. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Don't get spoiled. I mean, try not to. I don't know how, but yeah. Another 10 from Julian Jones. Knowing Shanks has been playing chess since God Valley, I think he and Shamrock invaded Whitebeard's ship. Shamrock scars Whitebeard, and Shanks intentionally got scarred by Blackbeard so people can differentiate between the two later. Oh, man, that's too much chess for me, but okay. Another 2 from Ali Atusabe. Shanks, while Savior Fisher crabs in a barrel wild. Oh, White Savior Fisher crabs in a barrel. That y'all too funny, bro. Another 5 from Regal Sloth. Is everyone really glossing over the fact that Shanks told Harold, I'll be a knight before you, confirming they were both not holy knights? Yeah, we kind of went over that a little bit. Another 2 from Huncho Chuck. Bruh, I don't want to believe it. Harold the Coon. Heartbroken. Another 5 from Nando 2 Universal. According to Larry, that all the holy knights can use Diamond Reversi.
No, that's not what I'm saying either.
Another 20 from 4... Can't read that. Is it a coincidence Shanks went to marry Joie right after the Blackbeard injury? Not saying they're secretly allies, but maybe Blackbeard told him something after the slash. This seems more possible given Rox's backstory. I don't subscribe to that thought process personally, but it's possible. Yeah. Another 2 from King Peasant. This is the first time I had to mute the stream. Hashtag WETA. Another 2, Larry getting chapter views from Fresh and Fit Pod. Another 2 from Chupa. Ida not Shaki. Ida understood those Giants culture. We got 25 memberships gifted from John D. Water. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Another 5 from Hassan. It says, hey, y'all, first time catching it live. Remember when Zoro punched Kuina just to get Wado Ichimonji? Hashtag hockey chucker. Hashtag Derek White. Another 5 from Inferno Knight. Who's more dangerous to the world, government, Blackbeard, Shanks, or Dragon? If they could take one out, who would it be? Dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah. The answer should be Blackbeard. He's more dangerous. But... Dragon. Another 14 months at Yonko status from John D. Water. I need to know y'all opinion on Kaido versus Bang from One Punch Man. Also, love you guys and you're a great community. Hashtag BBC.
I think it would be Kaido.
Yeah, I think so too.
Bang is
Bang is up there though.
Yeah.
I'm not
old
gonna
dude?
sit here and be like Bang is gonna get washed.
That's
No.
old dude, right?
It
Yeah.
goes extreme diff, in my opinion. Bang is nice, bro. He's the dude that trained Garu.
Garu, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Kaido, but
Yeah.
I'm not caught up. So.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. It does us wonders. Also, if you haven't purchased any of the merch, it's 27% off currently right now. The live chat has the pinned comment, but also I'll put it in the comments below of the video. I don't think we're going to have any DDT this week or the call-in streams this week, so we apologize about that. But be on the lookout for our top 30 all-time scheduled. It will be going live very, very soon. So just be aware of when that happens. And then I got to check with Marv for exactly the date now. But overall, it should be a fun time. And yeah, so we'll be linking up with you guys next Monday for when the chapter drops again. But other than that, my name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Seb.
And Lionel. Jana.